opportunity to share some information. This is something we used to at least do twice a year at the UAM. And that forum, which is very important, even for a guy like myself, was a grand financial opportunity. And just the UAM being shut down for me and my family is at least worth about minus $5,000. I could go twice a year, sell a lot of things, they put up a little money. And so that was always something I could count on to keep the monkeys off the door. And the UAM was a way for us to share information. You know, we hit the chord and drew out something that is almost now a 2-year-old situation. The situation of the death of Brother Collins. We're about 2 years from the day, right here today. And we always want to keep both out there, brother spirit, but you all remember in the UAM we got to transact some of the, shall we say, discrepancies that were exposed as a result of that being a forum. And we also learned some other things. What I used to say is that it was not a military operation, so it was certain capabilities that you just couldn't count on a physical level. See, if you go back and look at that particular tape where Automatics was on the stage and Michael Muhammad was on the stage and they were trying to grab the mic from Automatics. At the end of that, when things had been said to people in the audience and disrespect had escalated to the point of deep tension between black people and a white person in the room. And this deep tension developed over this discrepancy over what happened to Brother Collins. And now 2 years have passed, but because it was the UAM, we got to see that air on out. And part of the reason why I was explaining to Brother Maddox why I couldn't be there was that in the operation of the UAM, it was not a military. Now, there were people in the audience, if you go back and look at that tape, there were people in the audience who were military prepared, but it didn't have anything to do with the UAM per se. And in a crunch, even when you have disagreement in your organization, when you have a military, sometimes disagreement lessens. So the escalation of disagreement kind of overwhelmed it, and now there's dissipation. So I appreciate the Brother Calvin, the Brother Big Man, the Brother Herman, and all the others that were responsible for Brother Steve getting this opportunity, because this is compensation. If it is that there was anything behind the UAM breaking up, by the fact that we recreate a forum, will in fact nullify what they think is a big impact. You know, when it was at the Slaves, it had a certain feel to it. When it got to the MC Center, it had depth to it. And usually the biggest night at the UAM was Brother Collins night. Right. When Brother Collins came. So, would there even be any Brother Collins? The UAM broke up post-Collins. And a lot of the things that people got to see, got to disagree about up close. But now everybody has a lot to talk about what didn't happen correctly. But it doesn't mean that because there isn't something, there can't be something else. So that's where you go into compensation. So I appreciate the opportunity. If I do this correctly, when Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday come about, there should be some people that should be pissed off by the fact that I was here. And part of that happens is that whenever we have these programs, this is always a gathering of the pawns in the game. The leaders don't come to these programs because they don't want to, quote, have to be accountable for a particular focus. And as long as they don't or haven't been held responsible for a focus by how one would judge their leadership, if you don't know who you're against and you're responsible for leading someone on something, it's likely you'll never be successful. It'll look just about like things are looking now. Look so bad that Charlie Rango trying to justify a draft. When Rich Monkeys beat the draft, they beat no draft. They ain't never went, no matter what the deal was, so why would he suggest a deal? And was it not at the Masonic Temple in Brooklyn, where I did a UAM lecture in '96 called The Takeover of Harlem? And it was about Time Warner, Dick Parsons, Charlie Rango, Giuliani, Pataki cut the deal to take the Apollo. Did they take it? It's gone. It's even 2 Apollos on the TV. Up in Harlem, Apollo show, and at the Apollo show. Right here in front of ourselves. But Charlie Blanco was a member of the Trilateral Commission. He been Rockefeller's mayor from the jump. Rockefeller has a memoir out. Really good thing to read, actually. You know, he talks about New York like a dog. I created this, I created that. You would have thought this was Jesus. He created so much. This is called memoir. David Rockefeller. And you need to read this just to see what he say about how easy it was to control this city. And by the fact he had such good control in the city, it allowed him to control the world. So he talks about how he formed the Trilateral Commission. He talks about his Council on Foreign Relations. Well, the only fight in that office was in the office. It was never a fight at the office. We never came to his door. We never went to room 5600 and demanded something from them for things people here didn't get. Whatever New York has, whatever New York is, it still is, quote, deeply deficient in putting pressure on the key honkies that are undermining the world. It has, and here's the responsibility. You have to have power where other black people who can't be here, who would depend upon you to put pressure. So I said, man, ain't it great? I check how we get some stuff. To see if you know these things, it'll distort who the thing. Here's the argument. What do you think about them going to the UN? Think the UN need to hold that war up and bring on no more inspectors? I said, either way it goes, Rockefeller's the winner. Why is that? Who donated the land to build the building? Rockefeller. Who built the building? Rockefeller. Who picked the people that went to San Francisco that wrote the founding treaty of the thing? Rockefeller. All right. So if you go there, you go to who? Rockefeller. Okay. You go to war, you go to oil. Right. Who's oil? Rockefeller. Well, I mean, damn, what am I in an argument about? Somebody say, man, we need to stop. They had 100,000 people down there fighting over no war in Iraq. But let me ask y'all something. Is there a Saddam Hussein housing development project in Brooklyn, Harlem, Bronx? Is there a Saddam Hussein hospital for the poor African people in any of your neighborhoods? Is there a Saddam Hussein grocery store, community center, clothing store? All right. So then my impression is that we have no stake in that operation other than we don't want to see nobody bum rush. Right? We don't want to see no country bum rush by no big city America. Big ass America before there and blow out these people to what? Show how tough they are. And they notice they walk past people to get to them, right? Yeah, we that all. See, things are happening so fast now that, you know, we call this the year of the self-inflicted wound. But now don't let me forget this part about New York and these white people, and white people ain't never got no pressure. Though we plenty pressured each other. All right. So whether we go here, whether we go there, whether or not, it's still a Rockefeller. We fall into the context of, all right, George Bush, skull and bones to Yale. Dick Cheney, skull and bones to Yale. Democratic candidate, John Kerry, skull and bones to Yale. Joe Lieberman, Yale. Al Gore, Price. Bill and Hillary Clinton, Yale. All right, so that's all one school for the whole yard of that. And with that, they make a deal with other people who are in this area, who African people need you to put pressure on, because where they are, there are no such places. They can't go to the UN in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They can't go to the UN in Dallas or in Houston or Detroit. But they know a lot about the UN. And they ain't getting sucked into all of this either. But you are the ones who have to put the pressure there. And if you call a mass pressure day, I'm sure they support that. And they come here with you, but if you call them, but you ain't never called them not once ever to fuck with no Rockefeller. No. And hey, Jersey is the headquarters of big oil. All that from Jersey to New York. We go up to Albany, what they got? Averill Harriman Center, Skull and Bones to Yale. Nelson Rockefeller Class. That's all that's up there. It's Harriman and Rockefeller. Those brothers invaded the Masonic Temple up there, trying to get to the bottom of something in their area. But shit, we probably more protected from Masonry here. Never been an anti-Masonic rally since about 1832. Break the oil companies up in 1910, pull them back together in 1999. Exxon Standard Oil in New Jersey, which became Exxon and Mobil, is now Exxon Mobil. Good job. Took a lot of violent community leaders not to make that issue. Now they have $52 a gallon. Everybody about to pay Rockefeller. Everybody lost money in the stock market, but he's about to get his back. That's the way the game works. You prostitute the society and make it pay you for the money you spent to make it come about. When Japan wasn't paying their way, Rockefeller just put them in the trial and made them pay for the advancement of technology. Made them pay a fee. MSNBC, Microsoft made him get with Rockefeller. Had him pay a freight to be the #1 man in America on cash money. Let him out of all of his monopoly agreement because he agreed to get with Rockefeller. Rockefeller founded the United Negro College Fund, his largest donation went right to the United Negro College Fund, Bill Gates. Because he paid Rockefeller to pay into the freight of the game of making money and to get along. You got to pay the hungry. Now in the hungry book he talks about pressure, but he talks about his children's pressure, not no pressure from us. And something's got to happen. Whatever we listen, we still ain't got the guerrilla operation we need in New York. I'm just going to say honestly, this has been a void. And whatever you think about whatever I am, the shit I really do, you don't even see. Shit that I'm compelled to have to do because we ain't got no mafia. When people call me, and when they're in trouble, the shit I have to do, some of the shit is dirty shit. It's dirty stuff. But somebody's got to do this. When you can't call the police and you ain't going to court. And we need operations to do stuff. A man came down to D.C., got this big job program, somebody decided they need to meet with me. When the man meet with me, he come with some well, what are you going to do for black people? I said, man, I don't know who you are, where you been, but you better get up on the wall and pat him down. I ain't never seen him before. It don't mean that he ain't done it if I ain't never seen him, but if he asked me the question, it better be from some point of already in sacrifice. I didn't know the man. So, okay, we get in this conversation. The man want to get us to the right place. We're going to do this job program, and he's talking, and he's talking. So, well, what do you do? And I just look on a Starbucks. We was in Magic Johnson Starbucks at Howard University. And I wrote on the napkin, do stuff. He said, well, lady said, you a lecturer. I said, yeah, I do that. But what do I do is I do stuff. He said, well, what is that? I said, well, if you go into city to city and you get stuck in some shit you can't get out of, or you up to your ass in alligators and you out of water, this is who you call. And I don't know what it is before it gets to me. It's just the fact that you ain't got nowhere else to go with it is when it gets to me. And people pay for this in some form or another, or it's about alliance. You help out another squad because they need help, and at a critical moment they'll help out your squad. But we got to have an operation that does shit. All that other shit is cool. And I'm with all of that. We use this to find a way to touch each other, to get deep about going below the surface and accomplishing some things. Did a radio show in Berkeley, the little Pacifica station in Berkeley. KDA or something. Guys talking about what y'all gonna do, and you talking all this stuff where y'all are. So I talked about the day the children didn't go to school, tires got burned, it got cloudy and dark in the middle of the day, and y'all stop. I said, okay, all right. get in it. And when somebody says, brother, you really think we got something, you know? You'll only know when you get in there. It has nothing to tell you till you get there. And how do you get there? The real ones can never be denied, however or whatever that is. That's when you know it's you. I knew people in Chicago, when they saw me coming, they knew it wasn't a door that cost too much. I wasn't going to get in with no money in my pocket. It was the person who came to that town that I didn't feel I had the right to question or fraternize with or engage that I didn't go see. And in the strangest way, they walk across the room to me. They say, I be asking you, you want to ask me something? They're like, yeah, you know, I want to ask you about that Colorado commission. What you know about that? Well, I know you in it. Well, one day, young man, there's some white people over here to Klan, there's some white people over here to Internationalists. The Klan I don't want to get with, so I got with this one, hoping this one could beat that one. I said, well, what about the one where we win? No configuration. The problem with the boule. The problem with the boule is that the boule is a guardian animal. It's a guardian animal. The best a guardian animal do is watch the master. No plan for winning. There was never a plan to win. That's why we ain't winning. Ain't nobody had no plan to win. Everybody's plan is about a deal under the right thing. And it's scary. So if there's anything that can come out of this, it'll be that conversation we have when this is over, doing intermission, or no, don't be talking to me doing intermission. I'm be trying to sell cakes. Now, because I've been able to sustain a nationwide network without any bond or fine, with quote money not involved per se, and that we are capable of doing things, whether it is aiding and abetting or shutting down, on the front or on the down low, is put my life in jeopardy. Now more than ever. When you saw what Brother Collins was able to do when the Million Youth March #1 came down the middle of Harlem, you would understand why his value as a person who white supremacy would want to kill would go high up. Because even being repudiated by everybody but his own constituency, he was able to load up the town in a way that they were all on edge. And it never got like that again. Because from the day it happened, they started the process of working against it. And that's all they do. Mr. Faircom's health is not well. I was in Oakland last week and got a call right during the election. Brother's health is not doing well. They will do him now if they think they can. The civil rights all-stars are on default on premises. We don't even hear about them anymore in the midst of anything except for a little Sharpton here and there. And Sharpton's deeply confused about a lot of things. I feel insulted. Sometimes when he engages whites about what he claims he wants to be, which I assume is a result of some relationship with us, quote, at this base. Yeah, some of them suppressed. Well, Sharpton, after he ran all the pathologies on him and gimped him up, said, hey, what you gonna do about the defense budget? Have you looked at it? Would you cut it? He said, I ain't looked at it yet. Now, I'll be damned. If you're gonna run for anything, it all runs on the budget. Right. 40% of the budget is the damn military. Now, you running for something you ain't looked at what? Who you yoking? Or are you afraid of the hunky military? And when you become a candidate in a little secret service, follow your ass everywhere you go. And every time you go someplace, you gotta write it down on a piece of paper, and the people where you're going gonna get investigated. Because you're gonna show up there. And all is going to a big white file down at the White House where the Secret Service is. And you're running for something. Under the protection of the U.S. military. Right? And you ain't even looked at the 40% of the budget is defense. Or do you know not to fucking look at it? I'm insulted when religious leaders descend into politics. It's a whole science. What happened by Thursday? What happened by Thursday? Speak up. What'd they do? They recounted, right? Police headquarters, right? And then what? He didn't make the runoff, right? What did he do? He didn't say shit. Now, the old line is this. When I'm with these college students, all these students are here from Albany. Now that guy is a little old business. He's a little pretty young, still be a college student. That's good brother Khalil. They come down from Albany, and I always say, wherever you think you're going out in the struggle, if you don't kick your ass where you standing, when you show up at the struggle, ain't nobody gonna give you no play. Okay. Right? In other words, you gotta change what you can reach. Then if you're doing good in your spot, and you go where you think this other spot is. So Rockefeller got all those spots. Even the one you think only you in. I was looking at this Dunbar housing apartment they still exist. Who built that? Rockefeller talks about his memoir how he built the Paul Lawrence Dunbar housing thing that Du Bois used to live in. Yeah, still there today? That's Rockefeller built that. I know y'all knew that shit. I don't read this book because I'm intrigued, you know. I'm meeting with this guy yesterday. He tell me that. I said, well, what's up with you know, I'm finance now, international finance here, and I want to do things for black people. I'm going to give them jobs. I'm going to teach them the dope down. I said, okay. I said, well, where you been? I don't know nothing about you. From Chicago. I said, well, I was in this office. I work with whites. I made whites a lot of money, and I want to help blacks and black. And I said, well, you know, we started talking about Bank One in Chicago, which is National Bank of Detroit, Bank One of Ohio, First National Chicago, formerly One Bank. All that Bank One together is Rockefeller. Chase Morgan owned the dominant stocks on the National Bank of Detroit, Bank One of Columbus, Ohio, First National Chicago, who merged into Bank One, is a sub-bank of the Chase J.P. Morgan thing. Now, let's go back. Chase was a bank, Manhattan was a bank, City, and a city and another bank became Citibank. J.P. Morgan is now J.P. Morgan Chase. All that we ever read about the secret society was Morgan and Rockefeller. Now they get united overtly. Overtly united. I mean, this is all these years about covert speculation of the families interconnected. And now they're overtly connected out of desperation. Cloning sheep, cloning white babies with Israelis. So we just expect something from each other when it comes to our responsibility in standing up for African people. And we got to get a little bit more serious about it on the context of teaming up on a small scale, units of 5, 7, 3, sometimes units of 1, to accomplish certain things at moments in time. What's the code word mean white folk coming? Focus, I don't know. Okay, you can see some of you all didn't hear what they said. Raise your hand. Didn't know what the hell they talking about. Y'all that heard them say, y'all know what the hell they talking about. What's the word again? Focus, dominoes. That's just mean when you sitting in your office and you don't know, you see some shit coming and you want to warn everybody, but you can't get on the phone and say it. Just holler at home. See if it's any shower, the headline says, focus, dominoes. Say, oh, shit. Now you see rapidly light open out and grab stuff, paper, and plastic, and water. Now you know the monkeys was playing when they was playing that computer shit in 2000 because they could do that then. Monkeys didn't go buy shit. Black folks was buying cheese and meat, rice, and doing that, what's that, Y2K package, right? Even my sister Theophilus, she was down too. Sister Ross, the book of Jesus, Richard, Sister Richard, the old Richard, was selling them boxes. The living room was full of them. And I was saying, them bond notes already dealing in 2000 series of numbers. numbers. Bonds been low 87, 88, 89, all say 10, 25, 230. So don't let nobody fool you about them big numbers. The companies didn't go by shit, but they bought shit last week. And you see, if only we got serious right now, Humpy's got some problems that's going to tie Humpy's up until Humpy gets tired. See, I used to think we were going to rise up and kick Humpy's ass for everything they did to us. But I don't really think we're ever going to do that. Because this still niggas out here paid for getting an argument over who it is. Because see, you might get a Rockefeller grant, all of a sudden they can't see shit. Forward, all the rest of that. So here they go. On Rockefeller's book, on the back of his book, the 3 people endorsing his book, on the back of his book, and the cover was down in my bag. I'll pull it up. Henry Kissinger is the first name, with a little paragraph, but the second one is Kofi Annan. The third one is Nelson Mandela. Now you would have thought it was a fight between Mandela and Colin Powell. Notice how the Humpties did this week? They said, Colin Powell was rebuked at the United Nations. Well, what the fuck? What he's not speaking for himself. That's bullshit, he thought. But see, they don't want to have Bush rejected. This is psychological, so they reject Colin Powell.
Break it down.
And then you got Kofi Annan, Colin Powell, and then Mandela talking to what he did. So, now let's go back. Right at the UAM. I brought up the day after the 9/11 when Nelson Mandela was the first one in line saying Bush was doing a good job in Afghanistan. He called hell for that. Anybody remember that? When he came out before Bush, he was at University of Maryland when he said it. Right here, I refused. I had tickets to go to Mandela's program that night, and I refused because of the statement. Now I asked Mandela, why are you speaking up there? He said, because I got nothing to lose. That's the key word. Nothing to lose. Because if he had something to lose, what is he telling us he would have done? Nothing. So, now all niggas who got something is automatically suspect. Because if you got something, not quite. You got something, it's likely your behavior might change to keep it. How many people have what they want on their terms? I just think I did. I mean, it ain't all about the only time I really see white folks is when I do it on airplanes. Other than that, I live in the middle of the black community. I only go to black places and the stores in the black neighborhood, and they don't come in. And only time I see them is on airplanes. So, I think I know. It ain't no material thing, that's just a physical thing. But how many people got what they want on their terms? And another reason people ain't fighting for revolution is they don't know what it means to run the whole damn thing. What do it mean to run the whole damn thing? You turn the lights on in the morning. Turn the lights off, street lights off. Watch your hunky police patrol your land, or your black police, or whoever you put in there, the red, black, green police. What it's like to feed the people, where will you go to allow them when you're in charge of all your health care? How many people in here who are into health have gotten away with other people into health and got a plan for health care in case the revolution comes? I mean, y'all ain't gonna be on this just at least prepare for it. But I ain't gonna do with that shit, but if it come down my block, I'm gonna ride the parade. See, most people going with it anyway. But I'm just gonna say this, okay? You ain't gonna get in on this shit. It ain't likely it's gonna happen because we whip white folk ass, cuz I don't think y'all willing to whip the white folk ass. I'm saying, I don't care who ass it is at a critical moment, all things could be possible. Now, that's that do stuff shit. I ain't buying into that. We ain't got to remember, you can't join that. Don't be coming up there and where that shit at? Can I go to the meat? Ain't no meat. See, then they drop some shit out like Undercover Brother and White Soul. What the fuck is that at the bottom of the barber shop? How many of y'all saw Undercover Brother? Gotta go check that. Get it out the video store. Undercover Brother. Just a little, and then Conspiracy Brother is the stupid one. If I say, now why you promote the movie when they got stupid Conspiracy Brother? If I can see past all of that to get to something else that's in there about maybe there is a fucking underground. Maybe it ain't. I don't even know. you'll never know how many tunnels are down there until you go down there and build you one. What they tell white folks, have you a room to go to? One white boy got on, he said, man, these young people are lying about this threat. And what did it turn out? You see them? When they came back the next day and said, you know what? This was fabricated information. They admitted that all that shit was bullshit, but before you made up, they think you got it. Now maybe every week they accidentally help some group of white guys keep them together. See, I have this feeling. White people have lost a lot of money fucking with other white people. And now they're going, hey man, you know, I'm gonna get my money back. No, if you just stick with me, hang in, stick with me, at another point I'll get us all money back. All the slaves out there will give us that money. We'll get it set up right. And he said, well man, look now, I lost 86,000. I had 90. You lost 86,000 of it. Now I don't know, I ain't got no little chances with you. So they don't know if the white guy's gonna be reliable. They get their goddamn money back. But you didn't take none of that money. And every chance you get, you got to promise each one of them, and they all be pissed off at other white people. And everywhere they go, everywhere you at the job, say, oh, if this bad, all the white people gonna die on the war. To constantly promote this unity amongst other whites is something that they've been paying niggas to do for years. But we didn't check most of that shit now. You know what's home? It looks all fuzzy out here. But so you don't get confused. Notice ain't none of them niggas in the way right now. Now that was a mutual thing. Hunkies up the stakes and brothers up the stakes. Meaning they start catching it from both sides in a way that they couldn't get a safe place to be psychologically respected amongst black people, because another group of black people were determined to say if it was Hugh Price who's resigning, he can't come into D.C. without somebody yelling about the Boule or Rockefeller Foundation, so we don't feel psychologically safe being a head Negro in the Civil Rights All-Stars when people will harass him for being what he is. There's no safe place. You know, they pissed off. They, up at this little ASCAP conference in October, they kind of pissed off. They're a little pissed off at this court and this Boule shit. Well, we're tired of this Boule shit. They say, you're just having a hard time getting along, because everywhere you go, somebody's saying this Boule. So they'll make a little decision. They're going to, you know, hopefully going to get the correct shit, because they got to stop this racist in the West. Now, we get ready to come up on the 100th anniversary of the Boule. Now, remember when I first came to the slave theater, we were talking about Governor Bones and Rose Rothschild and Sigma Pi Boule, and I could tell that there hadn't been a lot of African-focused information of this type in New York. At that time, we were in Brooklyn. And just the whole feel of the slave, and then we had the Time War incident. Some of you all even came down there with us to Manhattan, where we jacked down the closure of the Time Warner lecture series when they wasn't going to have no Steve Coates. And I told you then at the Slave Theater that it was something funny about Conrad Hillary. The new name of Conrad Muhammad, who repudiated his Muhammad, became Reverend Hillary. But I said then, when we were fighting Sylvia Rome and Dick Parsons, who was head of the Harlem redevelopment before, now he's chairman of Time Warner AOL. They had a power struggle, and this front Negro becomes the man, but we was all up in their pants leg, back there with their Time Warner stuff, and they weren't going to let me speak, up there with Sharpton, Dick Gregory, Jimmy Castor, Lil Allende, Conrad Muhammad, and they're going to block me and replace me with Susan Taylor. And she refused. She got on the phone, Johnson put her on the phone with me, and she refused to cross. She said, I don't know who you are. I'll be damned if white folks ain't scared of you. But I don't even know who you are. Why don't I know who you are? Why do white folks know who you are? And that was when the New York Post wrote that editorial. Said, how could you have posted over there at the Black Lecture Series where the blacks spend the money in the corporation for the blacks? That was when Karen Mason was the person working over there. It cost her her job. Cost her her job. That's all we went in Larry. corner in Manhattan. 1, 2, 3. And I appreciate you all because y'all saved my life. Them honkies would have messed me up if they thought wasn't nobody going to back up. And I was telling the honkies, you might be a big honky, but if you get the hell out of that building down here where we are. And I remember how tenuous it was down there. John didn't really want to be there, but he was. Problematic was there. It was kind of like they wasn't going to leave downtown till we left first. Like, oh, I think we'll go. So we said, they go. We walked back to the door. Everybody came back to the door. Clinton them had that program right there. They had it shut down. They had them tanks and them big old holding cars down there. But the point was that you got to go on the street to tell them you will whip their ass if they get near you coming with that funky shit. You cannot do funky shit to jeopardize somebody's life. You see, from the college could feel something was injured up on him before he died. And when you feel like that, like I'm feeling that now, then you got to start fighting, stabbing, kicking. Even if you hit somebody accidentally, you just got to back them up. Different times when people's lives be on the line, so they got this little thing behind the scenes that I have this operation that irritates their ability to enjoy the things that compromise the race to get. And just so happens I know enough about them not to give them no space. But the goal was never to get these Negroes, the goal was to get their dad. It was their father, their big white father, who the source of all of this. And that's the ass that's up for bacon. Now, there's a guard dog in the yard when we go to see the master. Then if we open the fence up and the dog run away, good for the dog's viability. But if the dog wants to defend the master, we have warned them that the ass is out. No doubt there's no room for that at this critical moment. And since it is not likely that we're going to whip white supremacy in the ass. I'm here to announce this is the year when the white whips his own ass. See, the flyer here for the elections I'm doing now, which was supposed to be on this flyer, and I better check it to say that, it's supposed to say, this is the year of the self-inflicted wound. Learn how the next Holocaust will be a white Holocaust against other whites. Now they getting ready to re-show, they getting ready to re-show the Hitler thing. Now this flyer has two tapes. One says Sniper 2003, which was last Saturday, and also it'll say Pearl of Africa Sniper or Sniper Bush. That's what this lecture was in Philly and in D.C. Only the one in Philly, Bridget's daughter came to the lecture. She's on the tape speaking to that last phone call that sent my brother off to the highway to get assassinated by some snipers who claimed they were working for U.S. Army Special Forces. And that's what runs in there. Boule busted, but not in the Savoy. About the my guy, the sniper conspiracy, the Tower of Babel theory. And so we're at that moment where whites are going to hurt other whites. Now, oh, here we go. I like this way. I think this is good. Say, where will the money go? Well, here we go. These damn newspapers from all over. Okay. I live in the District of Columbus, or Columbia, right? That's the beginning. The first space shuttle went down, going up. This one went down. The evolution of their circle. Right? Now it is prophetic that the damn shuttle with the Israeli on it has some of the pieces fall in Palestine today. Right? Now, when shit like that happens, you see, I have faith in things beyond what I know. Because at times we get evidence of things. NASA blames the flight man, the Israeli blames the American man, and they start this inability to understand each other. It's the same thing that happened. Thank you, but I appreciate it. Same thing that happened with their war thing now. What their war thing now is about whether or not and when they're going to invade or grade. But the fact that his wife's arguing with other wives. Only 3 niggas involved in that is Condoleezza Rice, Colin Powell, Kofi Annan. All the rest of us should be preparing for revolution. And if you ain't gonna get in on it, at least think about what you'll do when it comes. And it won't be that you had to bring it, but you might be the only thing left standing. When Hunky start crossing out Hunky in Korea, gets it Hunky in Korea, and ooh, yeah. Remember what we said at the 911, where is the only place you're safe? In your own neighborhood. Anywhere you are outside of your neighborhood, you can get in with some shit ain't meant for you. So maybe you ain't gonna make it happen, but I'll be damned if it ain't gonna happen. And it may be you ain't got to do shit but step over it. I know y'all didn't run out about no damn duct tape. I know y'all didn't buy that shit. I didn't buy shit. Ain't shit coming for me. You told me how much we do. I said, man, it's pretty cool. Hold your money. Let them go. This is about them. They sat in the line with the gonna get us. And all the time, the chemistry of their body, which is accepting the fear they always perpetrated against you, that brought gallstones and high blood pressure and kidney and liver ailments and heart disease, is now inflicting the prime perpetrator of it. So the monkey is starting the process of sliding the monkey into a submissive psychic position. And that means something to us. I said, man, what about they asked me about that Iraqi thing? And I was in LA, they asked me, dude, what did this impact of Colin Powell have on African people and shit? None. But don't you think Africans are going to be pissed off at us because he's represented? We didn't put him there. They might just know ain't no brother running no U.S. government and killed Kennedy and Martin Malcolm and shot up and demoralized the population. There ain't no nigga running this. Then they all, he's been in the military all his life. At best, he ain't been but subordinate to the daddy military. Ain't no military man, no man. He's just a military. You do what you told. That's the foundation of that and secret society. They operate the same way. Fear in terms of punishment for failure to adhere to absolute order. Period. They don't work well in the neighborhood because we don't tell nobody what to do. We ain't really figured out what we want to do yet. We have not decided that we need a consensus on the monkey. Because there are enough people working with the monkey that they don't want to see that come down. Hey, I'm in Oakland. Somebody talking to me, brother, I want to get with you this and that, and I can't believe no shit like that. But I said, where you work? They Boys and Girls Club. So you know me working on Boys and Girls Club down around me. You them ain't nothing but straight up community snitches. You ain't gonna be none of that around me. Then I got up on the left and talked about Boys and Girls Club on a Sunday. That girl resigned on Monday. But you can't do no shit like that. See, you can be with them until somebody calls a standard that makes you have to walk. You know, at some point, you're going to have to give up something for this to come about. Now, it is true. You need enough food and water or bartering or military capability to sustain yourself 90 days. Oh, shit. If I hit this stop, how long does it take to stop? Probably an hour, huh? I got to say all that shit over again. Man. But you do need to have something stored up. You need that. You got to have that capability, or you can do without it for so many days. But you know, even with our children, are they ready to pee-pee and poo-poo in the same spot with none of this shit flush? You know, you be calling up the super. And dog flow. Ain't gonna be no water. Right? Ain't gonna be no light. No TV. That's gonna piss niggas off. Damn TV don't work. I keep a nigga ass. My TV don't work. hear me talk profanity. Dirty mouth. No. Many times they ask me to go see him. I say, no, dirty mouth. And that's all good. I can accept that. That's like the same dirty mouth poetry. Usually y'all say, go ahead and say it anyway. And I get left out there. That's okay. I can dirty mouth. But every now and then I might say something, even under the context of a dirty mouth, that might make some sense that if everybody had that truth, you might have to accept that truth from somebody who you don't want to accept that dirty mouth. But we all agree that there is a certain truth. Like we ain't in no argument over whether there is a boule or whether it ain't. We ain't in that argument no more. But some people still have that argument. And they're repudiating information by saying it's dirty mouth. So we said, well, what do you think of Steve Cohen? He is no boule. Where do you get up? Oh, we get this information about the boule. They ain't never wrote nothing down. And here's the boule quarterly journal, which is written down every 90 days. And they have a history book 1 and 2, which we stole. They have a ritual book, which we stole. And they said, how did you get this information? What do you think? Come on, the boule just gonna get here? And really, it's in the visual, it's in the February 8th sniper tape. It's in there, because I showed it last week. This is at the ASCAT conference in October. And we were together right there in December, y'all who at the Black Holocaust conference, we were there together. Dr. Bill was there, he was on the panel that I moderated, and that was a good chance for him to tell me all these things, but I didn't hear it. I didn't say anything about it, and then I had things already, somebody told me I better look at it. And I looked at it, I could see how somebody would get hurt when someone starts listening to somebody they respect who might be saying the wrong thing, and they might take it the wrong way and respond to it, which would compound that information. And then people end up getting responded to, and it makes for ugly stuff, because at a certain point, you can absorb, like say, hey, he talk nasty, then they got no teeth, he spit that gum out, he's talking, flopping all his mouth, everything, good in the shit high, all of that. But it does, at a certain point, have to come down to, past all of that, where is our foundation for our strategy? It must come out of something we know, and we must have some computation for that. So many of these things you could hear me say, if only I had the ritual book, or if we got everything but this, and when we get this, we'll do the book. Then we get that, we read a little of that. They got pig livers, and they're taking their pants down, and they're pledging to swear against God and their mother, and just to not reveal the secrets. There's stuff in there. But how we got the history book where the sister got it from the professor in Morgan. You all remember that line. The professor wanted to go out on a date, and he got that boule history book. What do? I said, sister, get the book. Everybody was laughing. She got the book without giving up her integrity. And then we got the history book number 2. Then we got the first membership list we found in Morgan Spingarn Library. There's a little sister who tends to the archives at this university had to use the bathroom. And she asked us, we watched the stuff, and we watched it. And Dr. Boule copied them and brought them back their original copies. When we went to the Boule Convention in Baltimore, Brother R.A., a guy interviewing Dr. Ben, went with me when we penetrated the Boule Convention in Baltimore. And at that convention, they had a big sign-in table, and when they all ran in to hear Vernon Jordan speak, he was giving the main address. We sucked up all 998 names in the sign-up box and ran them to the keyhole and copied them, and then we gave them back. Because I think if we're trying to undermine what they stand for, but we pat their ass down. They've been walking around without a license, operating in the name of people they don't check in with, because nobody knows they exist. How you gonna check in and represent somebody who ain't never introduced yourself? So we just force up and get to know you like, oh yeah, we know y'all in God. How this is working for this money. How y'all find out? Well, y'all ain't looking at it and shit. shit. Y'all like Harlem home to Yale. But when people start saying, totally crazy coming up with this shit, and I don't play with this little thing. And the brother Leonard Jeffries, he was there at that October 12th, 2002 at conference. And it was there that he made a public statement, Brother Doctor, my friend, that Kobe needed equipment for a civilian about his school life. And actually, we got to confront these civilians with him directly. We were in Atlanta at a educational conference. And he tried not to show, he tried to wait till we left when we was staying in the hotel. So when we moved away, he showed up, he would come back downstairs, and the nigga had to ride. And I can call that because he had great value among the moderates and the militants. And I respect my militants because that's all of my religion. They might not want to listen to me. That was the dangerous thing about Chicago, was I had infiltrated the moderates. And I could impregnate them with strategy and hold the information, insight, and fortitude, but most of the time they be trying to figure out how to get out of this shit. When they get together, they want to figure out how to make the most and give up the least in terms of hurt themselves. And they don't care who they gonna hurt or what the impact is, just stop their thing. So we pat them down, we touch these people, and all of them think all of you know all their names because they think we all together. So we have what we have, and we have what they think we have. Because they don't quite know what it is. They can't quite put their hands on it. They can't go and rig it up. Imagine you a snitch in New York and it ain't no UAM. So, goddamn, I ain't got nobody to snitch on. Shut down conversation, besides conversation, and triple conversation. Conversations in the corner. We used to talk up in that back corner back there. Have me right in the back of the room. That would be where they have when we had that black conference here back in December. We had meetings right there in the room. Right about here, we had some meetings on Brother College and information. How many of you all saw it? Really pretty out. Saw a Montel Williams show with a young man on it named Farrah. F-A-R-R-A. Anybody see that show? Anybody see the Montel Williams show with a young man on it? A young black millionaire named Farrah, whose real name is Farrakhan Khalid Muhammad. His son, who was on Montel as a millionaire. You saw it? You have to tape it. Yes, it says somebody got money on Wall Street or something or another. Quite a little vague about how he got so rich. But they sure didn't ask him who his daddy was. You see anything like that? And that, because once they say, you're a young millionaire, who your daddy? And that's that. And his name was F-A-R-R-A. Farrah. Who he is. Now, this came December between so-called Christmas and New Year's, so-called. And see, we need to be watching all of that stuff. You don't know when somebody getting recycled or rewatched in public, given a new identity or something. So we should be monitoring everything. That's when we know we got the operation. Because by monitoring those things, we'll have temperature readings on how fast, how long it'll take whites to destroy all the other whites. They got a mini-series coming out on Hitler. And they're arguing over it. It's going to be in the May Sweeps period. The white people of the Jewish religion are arguing about it because the mini-series ends when Hitler comes to power. So you know what whites are getting into? They get into the rise of being poor whites. And these poor whites who voted Republican, that they looking down, they go, Lieberman the Zog, Zionist Occupation America, whatever they call that, government, Zionist Occupation government. These are poor right-wing monkeys who stigmatize white people of the Jewish religion as Zog. So you're looking at the presidential race, and there's Gore and Zog versus Skull and Bones and Dick Cheney's Skull and Bones here. And they look up and go, hell, I go with the brotherhood of death. Because I ain't going with Zog, I don't care who do it. So just by putting Lieberman up of the Jewish religion to run for the election, guaranteed that all whites will go this way. Because They got the Congress. They got the National Woods at the Supreme Court. That's how they got the government. They got all of that. Trying to like it on and say, shit, we'd have been done with this ass if we ain't got with our boys strong. We wouldn't have had none of this nigga problem. And they said, damn, Chris, yes, you. Here we are all along the whole in power, and you keeping the whole car. You up there gonna tell them we can wreck you. God damn you all. Got everything. Up there all by ourselves. And then got folks setting down. Now, how far do we set down depends upon how deep you stand. But in that we didn't feel like we was in it because we think they all that way anyway. They was allowed to keep him as senator. See, he should have been walked all the way out the door. But the Negro all-stars on vacation. And the white media ain't gonna give no play. Bush don't play that niggas at the White House with president stuff, so they get donations. Bush don't play that. So they ain't got nowhere to play with the president to get to go. So they just sitting it out. Sitting it out, okay? Because you know Jesse when a visitor showed up and all this. Whatever happened to Jesse? He thought he was resurrected right here in New York. Come on now, he got right in the church, stopped and brought him up there to my main man church. And we got right up the stage to the UAM to say, who had Jesse over there? And boy, before I got off the stage, he was on the cell phone in the back. Steve, I didn't mean I'm gonna come public and clarify the conditions I gave Sharpton for letting him come over. And first thing was that he begged forgiveness for cheating on his wife. He said he violated everything, and then he come public and said he didn't want none of that went down. Sharpton betrayed him. He had Sharpton and Jesse arguing over who killed Martin King for him. So I said, yeah, what about that blood on the church? Look at this shit. So, everybody's backed up to give the real players a chance. If only everybody knew what the game was. And right now, we just gotta go, what can we capable of sustaining, and for how long can we do this? Now, when that sniper thing came down there in D.C., man, the white folks were scared. But then they shot a white boy military on Wednesday, shot a white woman FBI on Sunday. Those are the two trials that are going on. But they shot Bridges on Friday. My guy was the largest black selling structured organization since Marcus Garvey. That's all it was. My guy is competition for Amway, Mary Kay, and all of the rest of those self-selling organizational structures. My guy is about as big as anything we had since Marcus Garvey. On the black cell, that's all it was. I know my time number. I was in Atlanta when the brother got shot. He Gregory, the brother Eric Gray, myself, brother Phil Valentine. I'm on the stop. I'm in D.C. at the bookstore. Somebody said, hey, Lady Valentine or something. Anybody know anything about that? Huh? He had to move out of town. Okay, so somebody said about IRS running at him or something. I have to ask y'all because I'm down in D.C. at a bookstore. Somebody said, I hear about Phil Valentine. And I said, what should I have heard? They said that they ain't got that far away. Huh? He lost.
This is some years back.
Okay, but no, I just got this up in the bookstore garden. And I'm going to give you a number to have a call and make sure you're all right. You know, people start saying stuff and something ain't happening, then something happens, you really get too sick. So I want to make sure we be clear on that. Your brother needs some help. People can help him, whatever it is that's possible could be done. Anyway. So we had this opportunity. And if you just look at the headlines, and I really like, they got Colonial Law, gas is $2 mark. What's in the news? Hey, what's up, brother? How's your brother? When I was 18, 19, and Brother Preston used to send out like a little newsletter. He came to Chicago one time, and I met the brother at a conference. And I think it was probably in Satan's Day, one of the workshops and stuff. And that was the only mail I ever got from New York was Brother Preston. Years ago, 30, 35 years ago. And I appreciate you, Bob. Anyway, this is about white on white construction. You know, the one black, the one Indian, the one Israeli, the U.S. government crashing up over Texas. Gasoline nut is $2. How much gas up here? Everybody on the metro. $2 now. How, this is Howard University paper, how the Fed case for war against Iraq. And this one says, our state U.S. case. Actually just into the record. Y'all got to holler and tell me when I miss y'all, but I didn't get it in there right.
Did they say some young white boy go ahead and sold steak there about 2 years ago? And found this boy that's reacting and saying,
well, when they asked me in this KGLA case, they say, well, what do you think about Powell's representation of the U.S. government? I said, well, let's go back to September 1st, 2001. Anybody remember when he was called? I showed the article up at the UAM September 26, 2001. That was 14, 15 days after 9/11. I held up an article about what was about to happen in Colin Powell until the towers went down. Anybody remember that frame? Odd man out. Thank you, sister. Only 1 week before the 9/11 towers went down, Colin Powell was about to be bumped out the stage probably by a white man. And as soon as the towers went down, they looked over there and said, my brother. I'm so glad you just 1 more week, that thing would have been 4 hours. The big old news we could cross 2 sides, odd man out. Got the white boy, look away. The other white boys at the State Department had enough of him. So when somebody say, what it feel like? I feel like a joke. Feel like a quirk, an accident. I need a brother to talk to the brother. It's an old white slave since time home. Friday. Right after who goes? That's Friday night. Next Friday. Rochester. Always got it. And they updated it again. Then Samuel Jackson for Bruce Willis and Dow, at least white star had a black eye. We talked about that trend of black showing up to save the white. Using as much as the idiot doing it in the hand that rocks crazy. Using the idiot man in the law to help white people. And we made note of that, saying, hey, don't get with that. And everybody out black people. Ain't no black people to call out. Well done, these days. This I thought was a real good picture. Because, you're going to ask us, I'm going to ask you, what's uniform in all of these 3 pictures here? We're looking at the Baltimore Sun, the Washington Times, and the New York Times.
oh, on the right.
Okay, that's two, but what's in the picture? And what's next to the monument?
Fingers.
The air-to-ground missile. Now here's the key question. Do anybody live in the monument? All right.
No.
Okay, are there any officers in the monument? What in the hell is the missile doing in front of something that ain't nobody in?
Masonic connection.
That whites will go to extraordinary means to protect what's sacred and symbolic to them, which is many times more important than the real thing.
Right.
They protect the monument, and where the people live, there's no such limit.
Break it down.
live just across the river from there. There's not one head of ground over there. But they got the head of ground to protect the monument. They already got barricades all the way around it. This is, just this week, this is Baltimore Sun Thursday, February 13th. Washington Post Thursday, February 13th. New York Times Thursday, February 13th. Right? Everywhere I was going, I saw that headline. I had to grab that monument and missile. Because whites give an indicator about something that goes beyond the surface. Then you want to scare other whites. Oh, here's another one. This is missile in the Capitol building. Now, of course, there are senators and Congress people in the Capitol. And remember, that night at the UAM, after the 911, I told you about when it started hitting the Pentagon, all the senators were trying to figure out where were they going to run to. People were running all out in the streets, falling over each other. And as white people are, they all got in their cars, got in line, in the traffic, and hit for 5 hours to get out of DC 15 blocks because no hunky was going to drive up on the grass and drive big ass car, all this Washington Monument, you know what Million Man Park was? All that land right there? Not one hunky drove up on the curb and drove away through traffic. They all stayed on them little streets, 14, 16, 18. Just stayed. So just this week they released a plan. Hunky's been releasing all kind of emergency plans this week. As a result of the quote terrorism threat and the quote sniper threat, every white professional expert in the last 90 days has been exposed in the public. If you were ever trying to work against white people to grand master a revolutionary holiday, you would need to know the people who they consult at the critical moment when they're trying to know how to respond to something you're doing. But having exposed these people, put them out in every newspaper, on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, all the experts and this and that and that and that. And they haven't done all of that. Kind of give us a chance to see who they got. Now we know which one play against them. One always speaks against the CIA. He probably still CIA. You know, it's just like the thing on the Boule. The Boule want to put their own person out there. The Alphas claim to be most responsible for grand mastering the attacks on the Greeks. They take the greatest pride in penetrating the black professional ranks above all other undergraduate Greek society. Some of the biggest people against getting to the bottom of the Boule, Tony Brown, Tony Browner, Naeem Akbar, Alpha. And I have a whole list of more of them. Dr. Matt down in North Carolina, A&T, who's the godfather of A&T, says he made Martin King a house. And every one of these spots there's that crew that's just determined that the conversation over the impact of secret societies on a victim community cannot come about. We must have a computation about is it right or is it unright. Because if there are always more non-ritualized people than ritualized people, but the fact that all of them meet once a month or have a picnic together at a Christmas party allows them to confer together when maybe we sit together but don't confer together. You know, maybe like in the second half, take all the kids and put them in a circle and shit. And we start getting into some other stuff. So maybe they're better organized, and since they ritualize each other in the violence and the ritual, that maybe they're stronger than we are, but there's more of us than it is of them. If we ever made being any of that a bad thing for black people, we will wipe them out. If any of you all ain't here, I think put yourself on the list of don't want to go there. Because it's that critical moment the whites call upon the quotators. Look at all the black people they showed on the news who are off the war. I thought them niggas on there, I knew. I didn't know that nigga was military. All them ones thought they was getting that free education. Get that free this and free that shit. Ain't no war. Ain't nobody in America gonna fight. I'm a join. Now they ass going to the Persian Gulf. Hundreds of thousands of their asses over there. Somebody said, brother, man, we got to have sympathy for them. How did they get there in the first place? Maybe it was economic circumstance. Maybe it was a court-ordered deal. You go to the military, you go to the jail. Maybe there was circumstance, but we have to have a special appeal for that. They should have never been with the hunky in the first place. They come back with that Persian Gulf War syndrome. They never figured it out, never admitted it to them. What they gonna give them now? One say he took the damn smallpox shot, but I ain't seen shit. I have a man right out the brother, man. That's one with to show his arm. But they should be all puffy and shit, you know. They print you up, shit puffs up and all of that. I want to see that shit. You know, they think that's swine flu thing. Gerald Ford, he took his shot right on TV. Like 30-some people died real fast. They stopped that shit. Because pork was down, so they put it in the vaccine to up pork sales. You know how long he do? Like I say, look what he did for the duct tape people who were struggling. They helped them out, plastic making people. Next week it'll be aluminum. Look what they did for safe houses when they made the Jodie Foster movie. Every hunky there knew where to call up to get them a safe room. What was the name of that movie? Panic Room. Yeah, the brother chased them. Yeah, just burn the damn thing down. When you go in that room, you put that plastic up, you can't last 3 days without no oxygen, right? But maybe it's a plan where white people will kill other white people on the scare thing. Now hunkies have packed up all their shit. Every time they see one of you, they think it's coming. So when you be walking past them, now you got to give them that surge. Yeah. What happens when all the emergency medical workers try to take that smallpox? Yeah? Well, we wait till they get in that good. I think about the 48th day they'll be all fucked up. So we go 49th day revolution. So get to that point where they'll be so subdued by having absorbed this hatred in their arms to be a part of the team. See, the hunky didn't raise the hand. You're either with me, hunky, or you against me, hunky. He like cut the line on the hunky thing. So like all stars say, well, I'm just going to sit down a minute. That's how they got down there. Because they didn't want to choose, so we already know where they go. So the hunky gets straight. So to be with the hunky, he put you through shit. Take this shot, go to the wall. Let me take your money. Oh, you still with me? Good. Nah, I got some people to fight. So I'm going to get my money back right now. Just to stick with you. All the time that these stocks down, new commodities are up. Gold, diamond, platinum, soybeans, wheat, corn, pork belly, rice, all that shit is hot. Hunkies that moved all their money into Chicago, off the coast, into the commodities market. Gold is up big time. Oil is up big time. So hunkies that moved off the coast, and they're going to let all this other NASDAQ, they're going to let that shit go down. They're going to cool all that in. Look at all that Enron and all the monkeys lost all that money. They ain't that one fight over losing the money. That's when you use your psychological terrorism of systems to how do you let these people down and take all that money without social disturbance. That's what they do with the Council on Foreign Relations. That's what they do with the Rand Corporation and the Brookings Institute. How come I can't snap my fingers and two people stand up and call out the names of everybody on the board of the Brookings? Snap my finger over here, somebody down and talk about every hunky one of Rand Corporation in a significant position. I snap my finger back there, somebody stand up and break down the Hoover Institute or the American Institute for Enterprise or whatever, man. On and on and on. How come we just ain't so ready? And as long as we ain't at that spot, we go, well, they'll never get it. Maybe that'll help. Because again, it looks like he's going to get himself while we make up our mind. But circumstance will make some change. All right? Now, y'all all right? Y'all need intermission now? No. All right, now. Okay? Now, two things. All right? That's all right. I'm with you. We move this in the home because we're going to get some shit fast. Y'all know it's a ritual I perform in every lecture. I ain't going to do it now. Y'all know what the ritual called? tear up each other. These are all Muslim meetings. They're looking to send his people out, make them look happy. This is one of the main sections of the Sunday Washington Post. You know, what better way to go out? You know, like being one of our stupid soldiers. You know, I was on this radio show in L.A. I was on there and he left. And the guy says, there's one, two. The guy says, I'm in the military, and I heard Mr. Copley talk about these shots. And I want to tell you, I had 6 anthrax shots. I'm a sergeant in the military, and I just come back from the Persian Gulf, and I'm into this, and I'm into that. And I just want to tell you, we should take these shots, and you got skin conditions to clean up your skin, and take these smallpox shots. He just went on and started talking stupid. I said, brother, please, let's just take this brother off. And now we see why our people did never take the shot. See, they really want, as they work off all the white people, and they put the throngs of the people coming, they want all the white people to look like this. Just to get all excited like that, eyes all bulging out. They want all the white people to be like that. You know, we want them all to get like that too. It's all out of order and stuff. Now, let's see, you don't need to see that, you don't need to see that. They say they got a letter from Bin Laden this week, huh? I got a rule against that CIA. Okay. Let's see if we can play that tape. I got a tape in the tape player over here. And I want to play this tape, see if we can hear it. Somebody got to get up and go over there and play that tape. Ain't nobody got up. I can go over there and do it. I can't bring some good tapes. How many of y'all saw the movie Bowling for Columbine? You got to see, good movie. There was a little part, that little cartoon part I want to show.
That's right.
The tape's not in there? What happened to the tape that was in the machine?
Which one you want?
Hardcore. Once they being hardcore. And you had tapes up here?
Yes. Oh, the other needs the,
They're not, oh yeah, right here. Okay.
I think
There should have been another one of these that's being hardcore tape. Is that a tape over there at all? Not in the machine? Big man. Big man, you don't know. Oh, here, let's take another one. Let's use yours a second. Let's put this in. Like that. All right. A year ago, I moved in Washington, D.C. Had some real weird things happen. And a year ago, February 23rd, we're February 15th, a year later, I was forced to move. And we're now at February 23rd again this year, and I got to move again. And one thing about that is that I have a massive informational operation. And every time I shut those boxes down, for example, they're having a boycott in Cincinnati, they want to move on Procter & Gamble. They want to move on Procter & Gamble. I got the Procter & Gamble stuff. You call the hunky name, I'll pull him off the desk. And that critical information that helps people decide about why they want to have a boycott. In Cincinnati, I thought nothing could ever happen, but they got one of the best isolation of white do. They even did it in Cincinnati, but it happened after 16 shootings of young black males by police. They just had 2 more shootings this last week, and I'm telling you that shit is going to bust out again. But in a ragtag, courtly way, the African community in Cincinnati has been able to maintain this boycott against downtown Cincinnati. And I know we can do it. Economic sanctions is a key indicator for ready revolution. The ability to, oh, you got it. And another sidebar, I meant to put out the COVID sign-in sheet. Everybody write this number down. This is a new phone number for me. Now, I'm the grandmaster of the 1-minute phone call. Because I got a prepaid cell phone that costs about $1.85 a minute. All my phones been shut down. Everything's being shut down around me. And the whole thing is they hope I just get left out to dry while everybody's picking up this mustard, we're going to have to buck Coakley up because we really had enough of this agitation. He's getting us all in trouble with this stuff. People are getting pushy about this. So it's right at that moment where, oh boy, we just get him down good, we got him out. And I'm like this, I ain't be waiting up on nobody to get to my door. I'll whoop their ass, I ambulance from 2 blocks to the house. So we're in a critical moment, and when I do pass that hat, I hope you all stand up and support the brother, because these brothers who decided to have this program and who paid the theater, and this is not a cheap place. Not a cheap place at all. And to have this program, the brother really needs your support. I don't want to have my ass left out there to dry. And this little real African brother right here, real African brother right here, this one right here, this one right here, this one right here. I'm a player now, again, as the only guy, and I passed out those 300 copies of that 2-page letter about sending that monthly support to Brother Coakley. Out of all the people I know in New York, this is the only brother that stood up and made that monthly contribution. And every month, Herman sent me $100. And there's people around the but we was having elections all the way back in Concerned Brothers. Same brothers, Calvin, Herman, Gary, the other big man, all the people still to do the same thing. We have like that slave on Wednesday. And now Wednesday, I'm talking Saturday. To drop 4 progressive grip, to try some stuff. And still trying. And I just, it's not easy. There's a lot of people who would like to employ me, but I can't have them suck up my time. I can't have them redirect my focus. People say, Coakley, you just quit messing with that rock. I remember when the Conway Royale, and even my man Bobby Wright. You got to stop messing with this East Coast people and start messing with the right-wing conspiracy stuff. So I said, well, if anybody come over here and take my place, then I'll go over there. Or Karinga. When I'm asking Karinga, how come as a brother I got all this information, but the people who claim they need it ain't trying to get none of it? He said, well, you know hopefully what they say about you. You talk about everybody in your mouth. But you know, here's such a bad guy, and I all went to the guy called him a stick. And he pissed on everybody. But there's all these forks in the road when there's Zingo Lasabisha of ASCAP confronted me in Atlanta where Brother Collins and I were giving a lecture called Revolution 101. We packed a school gymnasium down there, Sister Abel Mabel, and Sister Politician there, and they were having the ASCAP conference in the Yahweh Hotel. And right there in that hotel, they said, you got to get this boule thing up, and there was Ronnie Gorman, the boule ass cat. And they just convinced me, you got to give this up. For what? What to it then? They said, y'all got to stop the boule stuff. Well then what to it then? Right. Why don't we just talk it out and then give it up? If the computation is successful, so these niggas act like they're gangsters and they ain't got to get into no computation. Now when the Jackson family approached me, and all that shit is dead, y'all know I'm on this 2 times, I tell you about the Jackson family, their ambassador sent me a $500,000 contract. It's right here. $500,000 contract to Steve Coakley. All I had to do was suck some ass. Come here, man. Come here, brother, man. Leave this man. What does it say? It says, what's the 3 days?
$1 million consulting. $1 million consulting fee to be paid with a $500 split between Mr. Smith and Mr. Coakley upon funding settlement with Mr. Michael Jordan for the sum of at least $25 million and no less than $15 million.
All right.
And that's signed by Jermaine Jackson.
And all I said was, okay, that's cool, you sent me that $500,000 contract, but just send me $5,000 on the Western Union. I mean, I see all that, that's cool. Just send me $5,000. That's
speak only going with the little people. Only. Ain't no leaders, ain't no business people, ain't nothing but little people. So we got a foreign operation. The foreign say we'll cross out the leadership. Link ourselves to the higher role. Link ourselves together. Y'all remember a little demonstration we do? Foreign link together. Take a foreign, lose your life. They go around us because we stay united, but it's a foreign strategy. So when the leadership show up and they throw themselves around, what can attract a lesser man? An opportunity to get money from people who may made up their mind against white people. So what's the entry fee to your operation? You must make a commitment, we'll call it. You know, if these brothers are going to be in Albany, I don't mind as long as they understand that Albany is a state operation. I don't care if they go to the African Studies Department, as long as they know 9 out of 10 of them professors are boule. The other one is a woman. Can't teach a boule. As long as they know that, then they can walk amongst all of us. Because they know that. They'll never be calling it. They won't want to work for it. They ain't going to suck ass to it either. Because they know that. Now we want our children to solve all the world's problems, and we want them to have info. That's what I tell these Negroes. Y'all suffocate this conversation, but what you going to have the children do? Fight the world thinking it's about a clan? Ain't no clan in New York. That one little clan thing they had down there, y'all whipped their ass. I was here that day. The clan rallied down there, whipped their clan ass. United States shit off. No, they couldn't even wear this shit. They couldn't not to wear this shit. That was what you do. And I said, boy, Rockefeller could walk right down the street that day. Wouldn't nobody know who he was. Hitler, making his way through the streets of Germany in December 37, I pushed my way to the front of the crowd and snapped his photo as he walked past. What was you doing at the rally, Rockefeller? Turn it up a little higher. Oh. Why don't you go to something next to Dirty Mouth? And what about Southern Bones in Vietnam? Hey, turn it up. But when you're looking at it, it's easy to
distinguish him crumbling with the microphone. And the whole point to it is that there's a undercurrent discussion about not accepting the reality of certain information. And so how does Coakley get this Boule information? Who told him? Where did he get it at? And really, it's all readily available. We used to talk about very profoundly. We used to say, how did we get this information? Everybody, let's put this tape on. We have to transplant a clear version of the Ben conversation, I think, in the tape from Saturday night, or Saturday, February 8th, and there's a couple of them over here. All these tapes in this first row here deal with the Boule. And whereas Dr. Clark, they used to send a little monthly contribution to Brother Coakley, he used to try to explain to me about why this secret society on the black side information was a missing link in Afrocentricity. See, when it started coming clear to me, most of the African or American Negro schools, Howard, Hampton, Florida A&M, where Boule president, none of the African schools have African Studies departments. The African Studies departments are only at the white schools or the state schools. The Africans who go in to sell Afrocentricity to first the whites, who would be willing to pay them to teach it to other blacks, have to make sure there'll be no trouble as a result of the lesson. So all lessons, right, can you hear them? I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, down there, one on the in there. So maybe it is. Maybe there is a fraternity of Afrocentricity. Now, my man, Brother Jeffries, who came to every UAM lecture I gave since '93, him and his wife never not contribute 5 days, come to see the brother, make sure I'm all right. He got caught up in the little Get Coakley thing, and he, says we gotta do this and we gotta do that. And it just so happened, that was October 12th, just so happened November 12th, I'm in Albany, November 11th, that's this page, Coakley at Albany, where it is, this says debut Albany, November 11th, and Jeffries is coming at 12th, so I agreed to stay over so that I could introduce Brother Jeffries. And before he started the lecture, he said, brother, I need to apologize to you about something. I said, Baba, before you finished saying it in Boston, I was listening to you on the cell phone in Atlanta. And so I know what you said. And there's no need for you to explain it to me, because I'm your buddy. And I don't care what anybody tells me about you, I ain't gonna never be against you. I'll spank you, but I ain't gonna never be against you, because I love you. But there is a laziness in African scholarship. And where one would find a reason to debate Lekowitz about the right to be Afrocentric, they're not going to have another debate over the quality of the program. So the program's got to be how black people got paid at the white schools teaching black how not to mess with whites. So what we're doing now, with the help of my student friends, we're going to compile this profile of the African Studies departments around the country. Ma is in the African Center School in Washington. In her social studies book, in the last chapter, is about Afrocentricity. And there's a picture of Asante. They exalt Nathan Hare for starting the first African Studies department at San Francisco State University in '67. And when I said that in Oakland last week, they stood up and said, do you know that Nathan or Julian Hare are allowed to teach at the school where they put Afrocentricity. Just to be clear about that. Of course, Nathan did the black Anglo-Saxon. He knew it was something that acted like the Boule. Didn't know there was a Boule, but he called it the black Anglo-Saxon. Malcolm knew it was something that acted like a Boule. He didn't know it was a Boule. He called it the Big Six.
Right.
Marcus Garvey didn't know there was a Boule, but he knew something was organized amongst the Negro, and he called them, quote, the group. Everybody had to feel that somebody organized in a Negro spirit was around. They just didn't know who and how organized it was. So when I step up with this theory of this black secret society, and noble people might have not been so noble, then the people who were at the Du Bois Center at University of Missouri are uncomfortable when I give the Du Bois Boule analysis, because they're in an institution giving honor to Du Bois. And there would be no need for the institution if he was a dishonorable man. But rather than to review the information, it's the Negro style to suffocate the conversation. So they don't come to where we talk. They don't look at what we say. They don't want to be a part of being a part of any of it. They claim they represent our interests, but they know not our concerns. We don't have clever sites. We can barely ask questions in programs. Y'all have a hard time asking a question today. A big man promised y'all question and answer. We're asking question and answer. But the whole point is that in our community, the liberation process is on suffocation. Just go and get with it. You're not going to make it unless you get with it like that. So when the Savoy does the story on the Boule, True Blood Brothers, that whole conversation about is there a Boule is not a conversation at all. Dr. Bill was saying, I hope they know there's a Boule when they never wrote something down. But that's just not true. Well, why would someone ask or take a peek at something before they had an opinion about it? But amongst us, computation has never been important. That's why I'm bringing these things. This is computation. Why am I saying what I'm saying? Why am I playing something? To give you a reason for why I'm saying what I'm saying, rather than leaving all this shit on myself and talking to y'all and talking 3 hours and finish. I remember waiting one day at the UAM, Maddox talked that long introducing me. He had no computation. He was getting Johnny Cochran, making him carry his briefcase and his call in the road. So I know we can tolerate that. But we need computation. Because if 5 or 10 of y'all make up your mind when this is over, y'all advance the next thing. Have participation in what that thing is. Know what time it's going to come about. And be able to tell your grandchildren you was a part of what took Harlem back. They don't even call it Harlem no more. Don't even call Africa Africa. Got just other names given by its own people. The reclaiming process. So we got some work to do, and I had just made up my mind that I wasn't going to allow the subtle I ain't seen no computation other than just angriness and laziness. So we're going to have to tighten up the ship a little bit so we can set sail. See if we can get some things rolling here. All this takes in this first roll are Boule takes. Boule confusion on the battlefield. This is about penetration of Boulez into American society. What the impact is. Boule-based theory is about the esoteric symbolism of the Boule, the 9 squares and all of that. Boule with Garvey is how the Boule took their first assignment to undermine Marcus Garvey. That was their first crime against their own race. And Boule went out to our Quasi, which I think is only one more E. Well, Quasi takes the esoteric symbolism that I have about the Boule, and he schematizes what it means. And then there's a takeover here that Dr. Ben on the Boule. Actually has a good lecture by Relative Hui on it. The first 30 minutes is the interview of Dr. Ben. This next row right here is about 5. We started this up in 2002 in the post 911. things they put in place. Now in Del Pro versus coin in Del Pro, we heard that already. State of the race, and the Boston Masonic tour. In that basic freedom, intelligence, law enforcement are interconnected. Next row is about assassination. Who killed King? Who killed Charlotte? Who killed Tupac? Biggie? The sniper situation. And a hearing on the King assassination that was conducted by the Black Hawk with William Pepper and Melanson and James Judge Joe Brown and much more people. This is State University of New York and Albany. And this three-state set is Oakland. Strong in Oakland. Oakland with black mayors, 20 years, now we got Jerry Brown, white mayors. This stuff here is about the sniper and the Bush connection and stuff. It says, we did this lecture in 1998, Brother Calvin, National Black Poets Society in Jamaica, Queens. The lecture was entitled, Why America Will Fall. In 98, everybody shook their heads, and this nigga boy talking a bunch of shit. America ain't nothing. Gonna have nothing happen to it. Now they run around with gas masks and plastic and duct tape. Looks like they running from something. But in 98, nobody thought they'd run for anything. Nobody believed they would ever go down. But that's all history ever taught us. You run it wrong, you will go down. That's an inevitable consequence of misbehavior. Couple of those, and this is education, plot to destroy education and all or nothing. Got a couple copies of the Black Holocaust Conference that we had back here in December. Brother Eric extends his greetings to you all down in Atlanta as they prepare for Safety Day. Coming up in that following week. So where are they going to show Safety Day here?
Bethany Baptist Church.
Bethany Baptist.
Salem.
Salem. There'll probably be a couple of places to have enough. All right. All right. A couple things. We have vendors here who are around the wall, who deserve to be supported. Anybody know what this box is? What box is this? It's a pass the hat box. And I'm not ashamed to beg. We're going to do this before the intermission. Don't forget we got a raffle. You can come up here and buy a raffle ticket, any $30 take for the winner. Will be for the raffle. You can come up and get one during the intermission. I need some help. I'm not good at doing that $100,000 thing, stand up, please, and all of that. So y'all got to do the best you can. You write the check. Put it on the thing and pay the water up, fill out everything. But I really need the support. And I want you to buy tapes if you want to do that with your money. I got no problem about that, but I need your help. This is a movement letter. How well the place we're able to get really falls on the way to what happens today and what happens next Saturday in Richmond. We got to move by first, so I'm all in. Everything is paid. Now we're down to move. I would love to take all of my information and put it in a storefront. You deserve my library. You deserve all the notes, the pamphlets, the articles, the profiles, the who's who in America, the who's who in business, the hooker manuals, the Standard & Poor's boards of directors. You deserve access to my library. And one day, as things stabilize, I need to have a place where you can come and dabble through my computation. I have thousands of books. Dr. Ben gave all his books to the nation. I hope the nation makes them available to our nation.
Right.
And on that tape, in fact, Dr. Ben talking about I got books under my bed, books in the wall, books in the closet. And that's important, but those books should have been worked on right now. My book should be worked on by the scholars. I should have an institute that competes with school, that they don't have to go to Albany to be relevant. They can come to Harlem and get the class. And give to Harlem what they would give to Albany. They give Albany thousands of dollars that we need to be able to give to ourselves. And, hey, they're going to keep pushing me until they think they push me off or neutralize me. And that's why I thank the brothers all all over the country. People are resurrecting the program. And for different reasons, people were pulled away from being around what we're doing, but circumstance and capability have escalated our relevance to our people. I'm very proud as a brother to tell you, if I could only tell you all we're doing and you would know what all's being done, you'd be very proud of your people, but for a strategic reason. Outside of you personally being involved in it, it's difficult to brag to our people about what we can do and what we're doing, because we learned in coining Pro, we brought some of it on ourselves. And you know, white people are real clever. They usually catch nobody. But somebody tell on somebody or somebody brag to somebody and everybody gets busted. And that's that inability to be comfortable with telling nobody about what you're doing. And if you got 8 teeth and no money and no place to live and no place to put your stuff, well, everybody still know you're going to do it. Even if nobody look like you, say, man, you got something to look all fucked up. Say, good. Maybe they'll leave him alone. He can finish what he's doing. Because people can get caught up in the surface just enough to think they don't need to kill you. No, the boy so ugly, I don't need to kill him. Let him walk around that barely look. Let him go with that. Let the people get discouraged about it. And I say that's just enough room to make it happen. If we get that chance to get to your heart and can make that difference. Some of these young I've been seeing for 12 years. So we still trying to get the ball rolling. And things have been lost in the shuffle. We've lost some things and some people in the process. So I only hope we get that chance. Now, you all, we had this intermission. Y'all gonna stay? Some of y'all gonna stay. Okay, I'm gonna run around and pass this hat. I'm gonna do it myself. Please be patient with me. Help the brothers. If you're gonna help me, pull it out now. I ain't gonna look. But I just don't want to get to you and then you be trying to get it just because I got you. Because I'm gonna get to all the spots. And I do it myself because I like to look in your eye when you do it. I tend to get more when I do it. Oh, phone number. Thank you, Brother Gary. That's why I need more minds. Area code 202-256. It's the only number I got in the world. All my numbers have been shut down. 301 number had $1,700 of fake calls on it. They turned it off. We had the 882 number. That got turned off. Somebody didn't pay a $50 phone bill to revert it back to the A service. And that was $2,100 to get that on. They got these $50 a month phones. Even got $50 a month phones with free long distance. I'm giving away phone service. Now we just got to get a place so we can put in a phone. And we're going to get that office. By summertime, you all are going to be able to come down to D.C. to see the spot. If I get lucky, I have one here in Harlem or in Brooklyn. If we got lucky, if it turned out that way. 202-256-2097. And if you want to order tapes, you can use that website, stevecoakley.com. I still withheld putting my content on there. All it asks now is that if you want to sign on the mailing list, you can put notes on there, information. If you want to order tapes or have a lecture. Some of the best lectures we ever had been in people's house with 20 and 30 people in dinner, where everybody really got real close just because we were sitting all on top of each other. Sometimes we agreed to stay over for 2 days, and then we really, at the end of 3 days, you really come up with something. You'd be so tired of looking at each other. All right. Are y'all ready for me to do this? Y'all ready? Everybody ready? All right. I appreciate you, sister. I appreciate you. And not being able to have money is of nobody's problem. That's not a bad thing at all, having no money. Some of the most vicious, ruthless killers I know. So, all right. Here we go real quick. Where you go? Reaching for that money. Let me go back. You see, at different times I asked you all about being in a revolution and who has sex with somebody they don't know. And okay, now you see people moving now. Tell me when you're ready. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Shall I start on this side? All right. Thank you very much. Hey, I told her that's $5. That's a good price. Oh, y'all pretty good. I come around. That's right. 10 years now. Sister been with us every step of the way.
Right, Sister Mary.
That's right, Sister Mary. How's brother doing? The brother used to come, was in health. Yeah, it's Brother George. Doing all right? Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while. How's the other brother used to be in the Concerned Brothers? Not the Exterminating Brother.
No,
but
Sheldon.
yeah, Sheldon, how's he doing?
All right.
Good, man. Wow. I'd love to live in New York for a year or two. I tell y'all the truth, it'd be just right for me. Chicago and New York, a lot of life. DC ain't like nothing. It's like a huge graveyard, like a military graveyard. Everybody down there work for the government. Ain't nobody in the shit in DC. Ain't no organization, ain't no nothing. Because everybody in DC work for the government. It ain't no skyscrapers, it ain't no white independent business. Everybody there is government or got a contract with the government. Only. That's all that's around there. Say in Chicago, you got the Sears Tower, Prudential Building, John Hancock. All them got offices in them. Or white businesses, black businesses. They ain't got shit in DC but government. Everybody who get a government job, they investigate everybody around them who got the job, so everybody gets touched by investigators. You ain't got the job, then a family member got the job, and you get investigated as a part of their security clearance. Everybody's security clearance city. And everybody down there, here. Yeah, because of economic sanctions, they had an avalanche at the paper trying to reduce the thought having sanctions. In DC, some of white people were $5 like here. His brother's a master chef. And all up in Albany, there's only time you get to eat out. And up in Albany, all the revolutionaries under the direction of Brother Omawale, he was cooking. When I get up there, you go to eat, Omawale bring the food to the hotel. And he bring enough for everybody. You will have 50 chicken wings up in there. Omawale, everybody say, you gotta eat Omawale. I don't care where you go to eat. You gotta eat with Omawale. Omawale needs to have his restaurant. He's all eat there. We all get Junior all this money. See. Anyway. Alright. Okay. Let's do this. A couple of things real quick. Let me talk about a couple of things. When Brother Collard died, that flyer that got put out at UAM was a recommendation about Assassination Prevention Bureau. That we needed some operation that everybody knew that if anything happened to anybody, that a team of people will be responsible for following up on it. Without this follow-up, it is likely that past killers of blacks will do it again because there has been no hunt for the killer. And we have talked a long time about hunter investigators, about our people who would hunt down people who did harm to us. As you would hear in the Black Holocaust case, we have gotten a lot closer to a clearer understanding. Sister lost a backpack. Say it again. So that we gotta find this because we don't want anything to happen to any of our people. Was it back near your chair, under your chair?
I thought so.
And it's not there now?
Yeah, it's a Jan's board with a weather bottom, black.
Anybody? Sister was sitting right about back here. And I know nobody will want to get anything from somebody's black stuff. It's right here.
Right where the
Not down in there nowhere?
it's the blue sweater on.
Not in the chair. Not in the chair where the coat is.
No.
The black coat. Okay, let's up. That's under that. All right, go back. Tell me where it can be found at. Just to pat it down, make sure it's straight. In the juniors area, right? That's junior spot, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He and Monk on. Okay. Well, somebody might need to take a walk down to the juice bar and see the white boy up in there. Somebody got to go with the sister. All right. Dewey last night at the juice bar. And God knows that he got that bag with him. I know, Baba. I know it won't be but a matter of minutes. The phone will be ringing. What do we do with the rope?
Fire at Sharpton's headquarters.
I'm sorry?
Fire at Sharpton's headquarters.
Burned up misappropriation of funds records.
Okay.
Thought that was a trick question, huh? Oh, yes, sir. Two very good questions. One is, when I was in Oakland back in September, the people who had brought college to Oakland were the people who were hosting me for years and years. Brother Tabi, Sister Unia, who had come up from Grambling. They flew college from all the way back there. And they're up in Oakland. And even when college got shot, we had a big report up in Oakland. So back in September, I probably did more than I had done at any other time. I spent about 2 hours talking about the discrepancies in college debt and what happened. And it's such an emotional thing. I had to sit down and do it just to talk to everybody honestly about it all. Two, I never felt personally unsafe as a result of having the information. Though people were making threats and all sorts of other things coming from the League Zulu Shabazz and others. But once the threats were made and we fortified for business, there was no comers on business on coming anywhere near the operation. I kept my daughter out of school for a week because they came home and had the college rally at my daughter's school. And so I took out of school for a week. I fortified, got plenty of bazookas and guns and everything else, and we just kind of sat for about 2 weeks and waited for some stuff. And that night at the UAM, I was telling automatics, though I understood that people wanted to hear the information because they didn't impress me as being militaristic about it. I didn't want to compromise their safety over the program. Now, I will be clear about that. Just like at that night, the people who stand guard at the UAM perform more like ushers than military. And, you know, half the time they liked me and half the time they didn't. You know, be quiet, Coakley. Don't sell yet, Coakley. No raffle, Coakley. There's always something. Coakley, your money's short. Always something. So half of them liked you, half of them didn't. Probably half of them was real, probably half of them belonged to the government. So I didn't consider the UAM a militaristic enough arm. Now, there were people who were pledging military support for what I was doing, but I was not interested in organizing them in a force to get into a discussion with other blacks with no power. See, whenever you get in a fight, you got to know what you win for it. You know, if the little, what was that? There's another one? Brought another one to the door. The last one stole. You think another one? Well, we think. I don't know what happened yet. We'll know shortly what happened. So I'll spend more time in that discussion than probably at any other time. The tape in Philly, a year earlier, Brother Bereshambo came, who did the service for college. He had known some of the things that had went down even while that service was going on up here in New York. And yours about Brother Collard and discrepancies. The KK's tape, which I believe is all was about as much public discussion about what happened to Collard as is publicly available. And back in October, I got with Brother Calfani, Collard's oldest son, in Atlanta. I had him listen to the tapes, and it was his approach to me was that the family wanted to file a wrongful Now, that involves a series of activities done by a series of people, but what it is, as much as anything, is a information gathering process. You are preparing to allege that the hospital, the ambulance, maybe an individual or others did not give him appropriate response medical care. Whereas somebody else said he got state-of-the-art medical care, which was 4 days after he was dead. He was reviewed by doctors all the way from old boy who got cancer in Baltimore down to Malachi York's people. Now let me go back there. In this tape I did Saturday, I used to show this little Wesley Snipes thing when he was building the Royal Garden of Amin-Ra, which was right next to the Nuwaubian Nation in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta. And Colin wanted to build a Black Panther retreat next to that. So you had the Nuwaubians, the Panthers, the Royal Garden of Amin-Ra. You had the sheriff, one of Colin's best friends, that was the sheriff who got gunned down by the other drug selling sheriff. County sheriff. Colin is dead. Brother Jamil, who was in on it, is in jail. And Malachi York and his wife just pleaded guilty to 15 years in jail. And y'all ain't just getting out of jail. Can't even talk to his own members as part of his parole agreement. Unprecedented. He's out, but he's still in.
Right.
But the bottom line there is that they have attacked our people. Not just Colin, but a series of people who were up to things beyond themselves got attacked. And anybody else, the top black investment banker dead. The top black boy on Beatrice Foods dead. We start walking around, look like every time black get up to something, and without the Assassination Prevention Bureau, that we will investigate, instigate, and exterminate those who harm our people, there will be more deaths of strategic people. And I feel like they're hovering around my soul, which is why I turn to you all and say, I smell them. I'm whooping them in every angle because I smell them. I know what the buildup looks like. I'm a master of who killed who. I've done 15 what happened to somebody. I'm sick of that. What happened to Harold Washington? What happened to John Wilson, who was head of D.C. City Council, hangs himself the day he's going to announce for mayor? What happened to Ron Brown? What happened to Martin King? What happened to Tupac Biggie? What happened to Colin? What happened to all them damn people? I'm tired of what happened to somebody. Trying to put a team on something so killers just don't run loose to prevent further killing. In the KK state, police have here take the autopsy to responsible leaders. I don't know who responsible a leader there is that loved Colin Muhammad. Not the NAACP, the Urban League, or whomever that was. But nobody else. Anybody ever seen the autopsy of Colin?
No.
Now, at probably one of the biggest nights of the UAM, I asked everybody who loved Colin, raise your hand. Everybody who loved Colin, raise your hand. All right, then here come the trick question. The trick question is, I'll give $100 to the person that can name me the 2 paramedics that picked him up at his house in Atlanta almost 2 years ago this week. $100, $200, $500, $1,000. You see, the names of whites are safe amongst the scared. What happened? They called it what? Oh, okay. I thought you was out there catching killers and stealers and stuff. I know you was calling the honey. I be telling these brothers, quit preying on the flock. Everybody loves to be kissed, caressed, and hugged. But when the people show up for the revolution, you can't move in on them for the wrong reason. Don't run the brothers and sisters away by trying to get in their private things. I know many people who destroyed movements by trying to screw everything that showed up. You will destroy it. People are attracted to things for the wrong reasons. So be careful. Don't prey on the flock. All right. That sounds good, sister. All right. I'm hungry too. I can't wait. Brooklyn or Detroit or any place else by anybody who ain't their daddy. I'm not into that. I'm not supporting people who kiss ass to white judges, stand up when the honor walk in, kiss that ass, and then come out and do black shit after work. I ain't into that. And I'm not organized against it because I have more important things to prioritize. I'm trying to instigate white-on-white violence and black preparation. This is no time for marching and celebrating in the public on some shit we already did. What I saw in the Million Youth March, the first one, and what I saw in the Million Man March was in the right circumstances, under the right call, African people will drop everything and show for a cause. Now, all we got to do is go back and develop the cause. That's all it was. It was like divine evidence of what could be on a sustained level. You know, a million came on Monday, not Saturday. And here it was Saturday for as far as you could see. And the people fought the police. They was willing to whoop ass with people who had guns and sticks and gas. I saw that. Now, that's all I need to do is see it once. Because now I understand what it would take to make that come about. And I'm in on that. Do I think the people who are over there are in on that? No, not at all. I don't even respect them for being black. Because if you threaten another black and you respect the white, you're a traitor. Now, as far as Brother Collard goes, anybody, you know, let's do a couple things. One, let's get into the high science of not naming ourselves after fucking ass animals. We are humans who need to find human symbolism to represent what we want to be with each other. Don't have a human want to be like a cat or a dog or a panther or a peacock or a turkey. Jet? Alright. Quit wanting to be like an animal. I don't care if it was the Panthers then or the Panthers now. Drop that low science stuff. Collins didn't recreate the reforming of the Black Panthers. He was invited into it by Aaron Michaels and the other brothers in Dallas who reformed the image of the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party in Oakland, Bobby Seale and no, he was dead. David Hilliard and others came out. It was even in the New York Times and attacked Malik Zulu Shabazz. And the attack was about that Malik Zulu Shabazz is talking against white people, and the Panthers of old worked with white people, and they want Malik and them to stop using the Panther name. Check. But Brother Copley say drop the dead animal game. That means all parties. And I ain't gonna get in no argument over Malik disrespecting white people, because I know he respects white people. And I ain't getting no argument over the Panthers and white people, because that's what brought them Panthers down. White people. Now I like Fred Hampton Jr. I like Dead Fred and Fred Hampton Jr. I like Fred Hampton Jr. to have some something who was in his daddy's belly when they shot and killed Chairman Fred of Chicago, Hampton. And I support Chairman Fred Jr. something, who went to jail for blowing out Arab stores in Chicago when they had enough of being disrespecting black women. That's right. That's my type of brother. I'm with that. All that other shit has been stripped. That which was with that in Detroit is now separate in Detroit. It's separate in Cincinnati. It's separate in D.C. It's separate in Philadelphia. All that was with that has long since gone. It really ain't got nothing but who with the hunky. If the hunky want to prop up that flat tire, then let them blow air in it. But for every piece of air they blow, we're going to cut another hole in its credibility. We have stripped it and left it out to dry. But do not support it. And in time, see, it ain't time yet. When people have made up their mind, you know when people had enough, then that's when you start bringing this shit out and putting it on the table. You know, sometimes people see things the wrong way. There's a lecture Thursday night, Neely Fuller and Francis West Wilson lecture on the second Thursday of every month at Howard. free, no Howard students in the whole lecture, and it's mainly adults from 40 to 70. Most have jobs, come and hear them, and it's not a name-based thing, so it's pretty safe. You piss off on white supremacy, people tell personal stories about stupid white things, and everybody leaves and they're happy. And Brother Collins and myself, we'd be loud up in there, trying to instigate them to push a little stronger. Neely Fuller said, you know, look at this Valentine thing. He said, violence in whites. Got a little damn baby, a damn infant baby. Goddamn arrows and a bow and arrow shooting people in the heart and shit. You talking about I love you. That's right. He said, now don't that sound violent and white violence? And on that spirit, people share symbol of love. The little white baby shooting somebody in the heart. I love you. Stupid. Or is that stupid? Right. So, sometimes you just got to look at it carefully. If people spend their time having the Million Youth March in Brooklyn, and that's cool, while they doing that, we can do some other things. There's other things, plenty of things to do. And so, I still believe Brother Collins was murdered. Right. When I believe he was set up for murder. I believe that story that ran 3 weeks before he died was promoting Malik Shabazz to replace him in case of death. WashingtonCityPaper.com, January 19th to the 25th, like your Village Voice, the local Village Voice in D.C. type paper. And I believe Collins felt this pressure. The one person who nobody know anything about was the woman he died with, Nefertari, real name Ambush. And nobody really knew her. No, she had no history in the black community. And of all the people who would know anything about what to do in case something happened to Collins, she was not the one. She called Brother Hashim to the house. Used to be known as Steve in Dallas. Worked with Dr. Sims and his wife, both of them are dead. He leaves Dallas to work with Collins. Collins dead. His history is everybody he ever been with is dead. He's still with Malik. Brother Michael, who snatched the mic from Automatic, ain't with Malik no more. He's left to ask for forgiveness for being misguided. Time has passed, things have changed, and at the time you really demand to know, you won't get the answers. People are standing, waiting for you to want to know bad enough. Because life will never be the same when you hear how organized they are about killing who we are anytime they think they have to. Next question. Yes, brother. Mandela and the Rockefellers, right? Significance for Mandela standing up against Colin Powell and standing up against Bush in America at the UN in Iraq when Mandela didn't stand up with his woman. Right, the same guy, right? So he didn't stand up with his woman who was fighting white supremacy, killing snitches like a sister should. Right? Huh? That's right. He repudiated her. Because see, remember the key word he said was, I'm saying this because I have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Meaning I'm not on top of anything. They can't throw me out of nothing. I'm more elderly, and they can't take nothing from me. So he speaks out against Bush and Powell over Iraq. What about Anglo-American Corporation? What about De Beers Diamond Mines? What about Minoco? What about Cecil Rhodes and Rothschild? What about the landlords? What about the gold fields? What about the board of directors of Consolidated Gold and all? Well, how about them people who hurt his people? We ain't got nobody in Iraq. Iraq has no constituency amongst our neighborhood. The Saudi and Arabians have no constituency in our neighborhood. The Kuwaitis don't even respect their own women. And Bin Laden's people got out of this country because Bush people helped them. So why am I going to get caught up in the who's who and what when they all working together when they come to make money? We're just some they trick in the middle. They raided all those officers, all those people who were supposed to be giving benevolent funds to Al-Qaeda. They didn't raid the Carlyle group. They didn't raid the White Corporation where Frank Lucci and James Baker III and Big Daddy George Bush suck ass to the Saudi Arabians to get money. They ain't mentioned them. So I say to Mandela, I'm glad that you can say this now about that. And Mandela was good when Gaddafi was putting money out to fight Zionism, setting the climate for Mandela's re-entry. And I mean, I got the paperwork of the whites who were running the jail that Mandela was in, who were poisoning his food on a daily basis, who then got the word 18 months before he got let out, changed the food to vitamins. He's got to pitch a new nation to save the white corporations. And all of a sudden Mandela was in the jail warming up to be the new leader of South Africa because white supremacy needed somebody who wouldn't throw out corporate white supremacist America. If America gonna bust in on Iraq for being against its people, how come it never invaded South Africa? Right. Why didn't America invade that ruthless goddamn apartheid? Why don't they invade Israel, who dogs down the Palestinians? They call each other democracy. How come they didn't raid them places? For what? They ain't raiding no bum rushing no Korea. Walking around. They even paid Korea $5 billion not to build a nuclear that they built. Say, this monkey gonna give me $5 billion, I'm building my shit. They gonna make them pay $5 billion to turn the shit off. Like a light switch, 5 up, 5 down. 10 go around. Yes, brother. Point. The strange death of Democratic political people in airplanes. Ron Brown, Mickey Leland, the white senator of Missouri who died on the way to running against Ashcroft, who was dead on the ballot and beat Ashcroft, who got rewarded with Attorney General for failure to beat a dead man in a political race. So they took a chance again. But Bush is a trilateral commissioner and Mondale is a trilateral commissioner. So to bring Mondale out the dugout to replace Wellstone was to make sure that Minnesota would go Republican. They should have put one of Wellstone's children on the ballot. Then when the Wellstone family had a rally and a funeral, the whites repudiated them for celebrating their father's assassination. Killed them on an airplane, called in and said, we about to land, boom, they blow up. Airplanes and political leaders. And then that's just enough to sway the Senate. So they could get the House, the Senate, the White House, and the damn Supreme Court House. They got it all. But suspicious death, hunkies all in check, ain't no monkey off board. All honkies are afraid to live, working for the administration. Cynthia McKinney ain't got no job yet. Oh, who? Who's that? Give me translation. Give me translation. Huh? Planet X? Is that somewhere in Harlem?
Samaritans who lived 17,600 years.
See, this is where I'm in New York. Am I in New York?
Right.
Am I in New York? Now, when you're dealing with a sick people, there's certain stimuli that will let you know the depth of the pathology, right?
Right.
Now, see, only in New York is the headquarters of the Tribunal Commission.
Right.
Only in New York is the headquarters of the CFR, Council on Foreign Relations. Only in New York is the headquarters of the Anti-Defamation League, the Lieutenants of Slavery. Only in New York is the headquarters of the World United Body. Right? And only in New York, everybody looks to space for an enemy. I'm gonna let that sit a minute.
Break it down.
I'm gonna say it one more time. You are sitting right on the edge of the World Financial Hunky Headquarters. If you talk to me, walk me somewhere through they shit. I'm not going to space with y'all. Y'all gotta do some stuff here to help Africans that Africans can't do in Kansas City, Missouri, or Las Vegas, Nevada. So I'm with you now. Let me go back. There are power centers in the earth. There is a science to gravitational forces and so forth. And what we need is our militants, our military, our educators, our astral translators together. Because like the reparation people don't want to be with the militant people. Well, how much he's going to pay you unless they pray to the militants? But they ain't together. In D.C., the teachers union just got ripped out of hundreds of millions of dollars by 3-4 people. But these are the most educated constituency in D.C., all teachers, all degrees, got shammed out of all their union money. Because all they did was think they knew something. If you make somebody think they know something, that can be scary. That's what they do with college degrees. They make them think they know something. And they come out here and start trouble on what they think they know. Disrespecting people who know but didn't have to pay to know. All right, let me go back. Gary, tell us what it is you need for us to know about the quartet. Yeah, stand up. What's up? Stand up. Call it up. Stand up.
The book out called The Anti-Diabetes.
Okay.
With the information about it. It's supposed to be basically about whoever controls that portion of the Middle East is going to run the entire world.
Now, where does the Middle East at?
You be clear. Africa. Okay, Africa.
Alright, that's Roman Africanus or somebody. We'll get rid of all of that stuff. Yes.
I wanted to ask you guys,
A strong voice. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask first about, what do you think about 9/11? Okay, that went down on 9/11. And from what I understand, Miracle Walker, who wrote that poem, is you on you. They were told by the synagogue and stuff not to go to work that day, okay, because they knew, and now the Jews are after him and trying to
Ran him out of his poet laureate ceremonial position in New Jersey.
Right. They're trying to destroy him right now, and I'm very glad to stand up, but they're trying to do away with that drug, okay? And that was going to be the process, 9/11,
Okay, the white people of the Jewish religion have been instigating trouble unmolested amongst our community for years now. They've been one good ass movement. And the white people of the Jewish religious organization for undermining African people. Now what's that? And that's not right. I'm looking for a list sheet where before this is over, but I don't see it. Oh, it's right up under the contract. All right. Here we go. Yeah. All right, I just roll on. This is the hopefully sign up block where you will get a mailing list. Take that. You got paper pen. Have some boards to write on. Pass around if you want to sign up. It ain't for everybody. This is to know about the next program or the dates, any of that. I need one of you to write on the top my phone number. Again, so 202, just put Steve at the top. Yeah, very top. Yeah, Steve Copley, 202-256-2097. I'll put the website up and the phone number here also on the board. And I'll pass that around for those who want to be on the Hocus Pocus Domino's list. Okay, now let me go back to, hold on now, I want to get to the quick where. Okay, what did Bush knew? Bush knew everything. Bush was a part of what made it all happen. The American government made sure that the right people got in the right position. Did it or could it have gotten out of control? No telling. All we know is when it's over, they admitted they had told each other it was coming. But for some reason they couldn't hear each other. That's Tower of Babel theory. And then you got the cry wolf syndrome. What just happened with this orange high alert that had no substance that got repudiated as false information? Back around the holidays, July 4th, they had another warning out. They admitted that that was based on false information. All coming out of Guantanamo Bay, where they got that torturing those Afghani people to tell them stuff, and they're telling them all kind of shit. Actually running America from them little barracks down there. Blindfolded and hog-tied, they are running America. They are determining when America go on alert. Every time Osama bin Laden drop a statement, won't something happen. So they on the Johnny come get with it, and Bush knew about it, but the cry-wolf syndrome says, keep warning, keep warning, keep warning. When it really comes, the people won't ever believe it in vain. They get busted. And as far as Emil Baraka, poor laureate for the state of New Jersey, is ambitious at best. I think it's a $10,000 ceremonial position. It's honorary more than it is functionary. And I wouldn't want whites to hear my poetry anyway. The brothers stated they took that poem, they ran it in D.C., they ran it on black radio over and over again. I played it at my lectures, I liked it. It was important for people to hear. Whites who are on their way to death don't like to hear opposing viewpoints. Myself, I can tolerate opposing viewpoints, feeling comfortable that if given a chance to make mine, I went out on the best viewpoint. Feel comfortable with diversity. They feel they need celerity. And that's what a inferior, weak genetic population does. It clones sheep, it clones people, it lies to each other, it makes people, robot people, dog people. They need all of that. Pig parts and human bodies, they need all of that to try to compensate for what they ain't. Let me see that list a second. Okay, cool. I need a board with that or something that might help. Yeah, let me put this newspaper underneath it. Put that newspaper underneath it. Get my leg and flow with it. I know that's mine because it's Washington. Ain't nobody else gonna buy no Washington paper. Okay, let's do it this way. We'll do brother here because he kept his hand up even while I was talking, then brother there, and then brother there. All right, then we're gonna get y'all. Well, you can put money in the hat. I feel like I can put money in the hat. I can't go down there. All right, brother there first.
Questions, maybe you answered already, but the first one is very simple. Why Iraq? Why is the U.S. buying Iraq in particular? I say that because they're saying they're planning for terror. Well, right after 9/11, the who was the party? We were in Afghanistan, we were in Iraq. Well, after a while, we bombed them, and Osama was, we don't hear from you. All of a sudden, he popped up with things. It almost seems like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Justin Hoffman about the dog.
Yeah. It's like this. Now they wagging the whole get your ass on out there. We need oil money. Now, everybody's telling you a lot about Iraq's oil power. America is certain that this is not just a bombing, this is a regime change. That's a word. Now, the word weapons of mass destruction came from the Council on Foreign Relations. They came up with that phrase. This is the phrase that came about after the word communism. They used to spend money under the name of communism. Then they moved to terrorism, but weapons of mass destruction had to replace ideology. So who had this? So in this string that he goes Iraq, Iran, North Korea. Look like 2 out of 3 on the table. At that time, they wasn't even in the consideration. That was to get it off Afghanistan. Now, Afghanistan damn near murdered that little chicken shit leader they got over there. That little American prop-headed. They damn near shot his ass 2 or 3 times. They can take him if they wanted to. The little leaders over there, the real community leaders, is kind of like ain't with America at all. America would never want to admit the hatred that is producing. Newsweek, why take it up? America is dealing with the fact that don't nobody want her but herself. And that's real important in the process. Why Iraq? Is Bush going to defend his daddy? This is little Bush defending his daddy Bush? When he had all these weapons of quote mass destruction, he had them in 91. They didn't try to take him out then. Schwarzkopf was the military leader, said let's kick his ass and kill him. He got fired out of the military by Daddy Bush for suggesting Daddy Bush was a punk for not going in there and taking him down. Remember him? Norman Schwarzkopf left the military, got a $5 million book deal. Colin Powell leaves the military, gets a $6 million book deal. This is hush up money. So now here they are playing with Iraq. When that sniper stuff was going on, right when he going to the malls or nowhere, that ended before the November election. But having 2 blacks shooting all them whites helped all them whites vote Republican. Remember that. They stopped that thing and cleared it up before that November 2nd election went down. Yes. We come, you're going to get it, but you got a good start, Captain.
Everybody is saying that there's a attack against Iraq is war. But I want to put something out there that you own armed companies that you own, and they and all fellas and all y'all is cahoots together, and now we got all these weapons of mass destruction that's sitting up in that and dust, but it seems like that we want to put out that all the other nations have weapons of mass destruction while we gather up the troops and get out there and use our weapons of mass destruction while the Carlisle group is sitting idle now. That's Daddy Bush Company and Baker's Company and all that. What they do is take these folks armed companies. That's right. That are under one group called the Carlisle group. Now, if I had all these arms, I need some returns on my investment. That's what the whole world is not seeing. That the Europeans need returns on this Carlisle group investment. So we need the weapon of mass destruction guys so everybody looks the other way at our weapon of mass destruction while we go out with our weapons of mass destruction and destroy infrastructure, steal oil, and bring the veterans back with nothing and leave them homeless. Because I was a veteran of the race invasion. And I didn't get nothing out of when I went over there and helped kill the people for their rights. And I'm standing up here broke. But people is like got rich off them deals. So it's like we that go out there to do the fighting, we don't have really a clue of what we go out fighting for.
Go ahead, brother, quick. Then we'll cut across to the other side.
And what's the significance of the space shuttle?
They got it, can't hear you, brother.
I'm saying, what's the significance of the space shuttle collapse?
The significance of the space shuttle collapse is something I mentioned earlier. The first one that went down blew up on the way up. This one blew up in the end, the alpha and omega for the white. 2, they thought this was a collage, an Israeli white man, African man, a Indian woman. This is everybody's thing, you know. They're up there, they're so confident they don't have a repair crew. And this is the mosaic. Who used to say that shit? Dinkins. Well, in Rockefeller's book, he told Dinkins to say it. The big mosaic of New York.
Rainbow.
Yeah, he wrote that shit. Something you said too, I wanted to add on to about Carlisle Group. Carlisle Group bought the ship repair yards of 93% of all ship makers. They bought control of all of the repairs of all of the new U.S. Navy yards. 93%. So you're going to go to Persian Gulf, what do? You send out 17 ships. Every repair on those ships will go through the Carlisle Group shipyards. So after they got control of the ships, then they had a reason to send the ships out. Now, this stuff that they pulling is really scandalous. It can be broken up. They actually violate some things they claim they're abiding by. You know, it really could be broken up. So here comes the shuttle. So what are their answer for failure in space? What was their answer to failure in space?
Tower. Tower.
No, what was their response to the blow up in space? What's their now new proposal? There you go. I failed, therefore I get more money. Congress needs to quit holding up space money. Why don't you feed the people with the money and give them space up? Because Hunky just trying out a ways to go. You ain't understand that.
Sacrifice.
No, this is about Hunky out in space to go. Now, I owe somebody over here. Didn't I? I guess I did. Okay. They will come across. Yeah, who? You got to stand up, somebody. Who did? Oh, okay. When he came back and said he didn't find nothing. Well, remember the whole Vietnam thing was Gulf of Tonkin. That was a fabricated attack. It's interesting to hear the whites argue with the other whites over what is the significance of the inspection. The real significance of the satellites is once they feel they know everything, then they go blow everything. The inspectors are the spies. They spied last time, they spying this time. There's no such thing as no fair inspection. Yeah. Yes, go ahead. Trying to what? Well, that's interesting because the sniper claimed he was... Yeah, and remember also in North Carolina, all of them soldiers were killing their families and shit. Shooting up their wives. That's the more of that white-on-white violence. Down in D.C., they got commercials up here with the talking fake dummies and all of that. They just beating each other to death over deregulation. I just figure this is that time where they're really gonna beat the shit out of each other. But America doesn't need any facts. That's the whole thing Colin Powell's saying on behalf of America. Who needs facts to whip that ass? We just gonna whip that ass anyway. We are committed to whip that ass. And 1991, you check my date, January 15, 1991, Daddy Bush addresses the UN and acknowledges that America will respect the sovereignty of no country. It will invade any country that it identifies as an enemy. They declared that January 15, 91 in front of the United Nations. That's when the invasion came down the next day on the full moon. They always do them on full moons too. Brother Mwah. Yes, in fact, when he testified, you saw George Tenet standing right behind him.
Right.
Holding 9,000 feet that he would know. But then how about setting them up like this, giving them something to say, and then say they plagiarized it from a high school kid's report. Set Colin Powell up like he a stooge off a high school kid's paper. Then I thought about the Pelican Brief. The movie. Yes, brother. And then, brother. You next.
I got a question
was just talking about the thing that's forefront. Assassination finally is happening.
So one of the things we think we should do, because white people since the age of time, Hitler faced going up to Parliament so he could get the Germans. The Emperor in Rome, Nero did it so he could get the Christians. So he
blew up the Hilton in Israel to get the Israelis to sacrifice Christians.
This ain't nothing new. They do this all the time. So we can spend the time talking about how white folks gonna do it next. We need to be talking about how we gonna fight and defeat white folks.
The combination of victory is a complicated public discussion. Much of it has to do with surprise and preparation and strategic moments. And I always said white supremacy dug in like this would be difficult to knock over, but you get it up and all wild like that, now you can just tip it over.
Right.
So that's an important thing, how to draw it up. Get it off ground, get it off center, make it get all wild and woolly, all beyond itself. And there we might find a great moment. And then of course the pawns link together. I need me a person or two. Remember, come on, I need you. One or two people. Come on, bud, I'll take you two. We take them both. Just the pawns link together process in the chess game is real simple. Come on over there, come over there. The thing is that if the three of us were pawns playing chess, and I step forward, that these pawns who are linked with me, you take me in a game of chess and we're pawns and I'm pointed up, either one of them will take you as a matter of taking me. So once pawns are linked together, they're pretty secure, and the bishops, the knights, the rooks don't want to lose out against a pawn, so they go around. Because what bishop want to go down with a pawn? The bishops are the church, the white church, the black church. Black line, white, the red line. The knights are secret societies, the Masons, the Boulets, the Rosicrucians, the whole work. These brothers went to Africa. Their assignment was to shoot the Rosicrucian headquarters in Ghana. And there they are on videotape, standing in front of the Rosicrucian headquarters in Ghana, and the little brother saying, "Hey man, don't you want to join? It's good. Don't you want to join?" They could say, "No man, I don't get into this, But the fact that they can go there and find those things are important to about changing them. So as pawns, we link together. And it's only a pawn game. That's all of us. That's all we got together is that we're pawns. We can win this. We can even be kings and queens if we get to that other row. Rename ourselves, capture the king, checkmate it. But pawns can do it. When I play chess, I play to trade away all the pieces and win with my pawns late in the game. I watch people eat up my pieces, and I have less pieces, and I can still checkmate them and corner them using the pawns. Feel very comfortable that every time I play chess, it's the pawns that's going to win my game. I think so. Yes, oh, brother, I promise him. Then you.
I just want to get your opinion on the
I'm sorry, too close.
new black
Okay, here we go. Good point. Black television channel. That's what she said she wanted to set up, right? Well, who she want to set it up with? Comcast. The white boy out of Philadelphia. So you can't have a black network hooked up with a white boy. It becomes a white network. And there we are again taking Cuba shooting a hole in our heart, calling it love. Kathy Hughes bought up all the black stations. And eventually she will sell them to white. Now she's merging with the Comcast boy. BET got bought by CBS. And now she's going to compete with that with a white boy. I don't see any difference.
I'm asking because I know that in some cases, at least among the at least that shows some kind of progressive radio where alternative voices like yourself get ready to get on.
Sometimes we can.
I think that all.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
At least that's something I want to have to transmit.
I don't have any comment. Now, I'm not going to be looking into ethnic liberation because Kathy Hughes is a businesswoman and not a liberator. I had deep run-ins with her. I was a witch on a broomstick.
What do you think about Sylvia's sold 55 to Japanese.
She sold to the Japanese? Oh, anybody about this? Tell me something now. Sylvia's the sold? That's not correct? Okay. Okay. Where's the brother? Yeah, there we go. Talk loud. Talk loud. Why rock? Buccaneers, yes.
The pirate represents two swords. It's the same card as the pirate. And the name Nacedonian, Texas, if you look it up in the dictionary, it represents captain of an Indian. The meaning is captain of an Indian ship. Or captain. And it's symbolic because how you look in that part, you look at what the event of the ship happens after the new moon. And normally when something happens in the new moon, you look at the follow-up. This event, this man event, captain of the ship, this man event. The event that happens in Manhattan and worldwide are all connected because the moon in that college represents the public. So you see the public in up in arms about what happens in the first people. But not only the public, the new college for Macedonia is 49. When you do the numbers and you analyze it together, it's 49. So the second represents 1 and then the Macedonia, the central Texas is 49. Macedonia is the word, you can do that. 49 streets and words have been used as being correct, the big mark, each month. So all three marks. Now, you go back, because I got certain things based on certain things to my dream as a follow-up to the short class. And actually, a couple of days before the class, I was able to see something that I dreamt as a meaning of something going down. My cousin here, he worked with me. And while going to work, I saw the image was a flash of a memory that I needed to know as something going down. This is how things come to life. You get a flash, you read it, and you flash of insight. You don't write it down, and someone says, don't very your thoughts, you think it's reality. When you get those flashes, those separation as they call it, you got to hold that. You got to have a journal. Because certain things that's going to go down, spiritually you won't be able to analyze it. Scientifically, and some things in the news you can see because it's all coded. And so I'm able to see certain things. The blame is on the and then also the positive represents the public. Why the public? Because they are supporting of the government. So it shows you the power of the organization of the people to create the unity of Colombia or putting it into perspective. Because it's happening in Texas and it's happening in that
Florida. Bush's brother, so they gonna win the Super Bowl. Right? With John Bones, right? Now, here's the question. You ever seen the movie Minority Report? Okay, you need to watch the movie one day. The point here is, what did they do to people who can see the future? They captured them, they put them in ponds, they tied them down, and they rigged their brains. So when you find people, when we find people that can see ahead of themselves, we have to protect them. Because whites have always tried to harness that which they've had to do through only material and science things. They don't have what you have, the abilities that you can do, and so they have to replicate them in only human form. So to find people who can see and think ahead become dangerous people to the enemy. So always don't try to impress white people about what you know over here. I don't even try. But the man tell them I don't tell nothing. Oh, small report. Sister did find her stuff.
Okay.
And no, the white guy didn't have it. Okay, what's the Steve Coakley next election? Boy, y'all big. Well, the flying for the election didn't come out there. Yes, sister, there we go. Good sir. And thank you for being patient. I like that. Someone who can see, with someone who knows operational functionalism, with somebody who knows the base of the enemy. See, that should all be one commission. All the people, somebody foresaw it, somebody translated it, somebody made it relative, somebody went out and checked it out, somebody investigated, somebody closed that door and shut that thing down, did it right or did it wrong. All that should be a part, but this is what we do. One person sees something, we say, that ain't shit, you ain't doing nothing.
Right.
And then the next person comes and says, that ain't shit, you ain't doing nothing. And we end up dogging all the parts to the puzzle because we want one person to have all the parts. Poor people can't do that. Poor people have to have the parts they can have. And match that with those, we can do this, but we have to have compassion for each other. We have to even do wrong things and even work things out. You know, I'm not against working with people who have corrected their past mistakes. You know, Malik Shabazz is still a black person and not a white person. So in certain respects, even another chance I would give him, I wouldn't give a white. But that takes confession for reconciliation. Somebody's too arrogant to confess, and they'll never be back in this thing. Okay, you the brother and then brother. And I didn't mean to do that against you, but